Why are you breaking character, Chuck?
Are we on?
I don't know.
Well, we can't do this the whole time.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's very positive. You can do it, Internet.
Welcome.
We believe in you.
Okay, I'm going to check and see if we're on the internet.
All right, we're probably on the Internet now.
Okay.
Man, I hope we're on the internet.
Well,
Because if we're not,
we're about to find out.
I
We're on
see
the
it.
internet.
This podcast is about to find out.
It's moving.
Welcome
that
to the internet.
It's on the Internet.
Let's see if I can manage these.
Welcome to the internet, bitch.
Oh, shit. I'm going to get all up in that live stream.
Yeah.
Do it.
It's live stream guts.
Oh, yes, live stream guts.
What?
Hey, while you're away, here's some shit you probably don't care about.
Oh, I
That's
care.
last week.
I care so much.
Last week is still named live stream.
Meh. We'll fix that one day.
Never mind. I guess this is okay. I might have missed that. That's okay. I'll find her tweet in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, it's just going to loop.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's a GIF.
Yep.
It's a lady licking another lady's face. They're wrestlers.
I'm all right with that.
That's what wrestlers do.
Man, I bet she
How-
tasted like self-tanner.
How do I make that? Where do I see the new things? Seriously, every time I come to Twitter now, it's a fucking...
Hey, look, I remember those snacks while you're away. We had those snacks.
What kind of snacks
Seriously,
did you have?
I want to see
We
new
had
shit.
Potato skins and
They got
cupcake
big
Oreos.
potato appeal
And
because they're made with potatoes and skins that are real.
they don't make those anymore.
They don't?
No.
Those were good.
They were good. They were delicious. Now you can only get the giant bags of TGI Fridays knockoff potato skins.
Tato skins?
Potato skins is what they were called.
Potato skin.
They were good. You got about like 16 in a
They're
bag.
like Channing Tatum skins.
Yes. Yes.
See Tatum skins.
See Tate.
See Tate skins.
Too tight.
Oh, C Tate.
Yeah, see Tate.
I saw C Tate movie.
Did you?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. Half.
Oh, okay. First half, we talk about good bad movies and
Right.
terrible bad movies.
Then we rate 'em.
Ah!
Wow, you guys were all about that, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone loves a good...
Max Magician.
It's been a long time since.
Sure has.
Since we broke out the da.
I just realized we should probably put some things back up on shelves. And
Well, we were making sure it still maintained structural integrity
fine.
before it killed Mackie.
Yeah.
Oh,
What would have killed me?
what would have
One of
killed
the
you?
VHS tapes?
Yeah, that arena tape would have just busted your head right
Well,
now.
what about... Which one do we have a pair of? Was it Arenas or...
I Come in Peace?
I
We
Come
have
in
a couple
Pieces,
of
yeah.
those. Yeah.
The I Comes...
movie worthy
I Comes
of
in
having
Pieces.
multiple
They're both
copies.
over there.
The We Come in Peace.
Cool as Ice would have killed me.
Yeah, one
Yeah?
knock. Just,
Yeah.
and then dead.
Sup?
Yeah.
Yo.
Where's all the chatters, yo? What's up with this?
What competing event is on tonight?
I don't know.
Everything's over.
Yeah. NCAA final, that's done.
Yeah. The wrestling?
Women's final. No, that was last
That was
night.
yesterday. Also done.
Did UConn win again?
They did.
Shocked.
4-peat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the same lady won MVP all 4 years.
So, like,
Really?
what do they... Like, was like a dog sled team that injured? I don't know what the Yukon would have as a...
Huskies. Actually, the Huskies.
I get it.
What?
UConn.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like the middle of nowhere.
University of Connecticut.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
I was going Y-U...
Right.
K-O-N.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Nah.
No.
Nah.
No.
All right, people are in the chat. BJ's in the chat.
What?
Look what he's doing from his phone.
I'm in
Yeah.
the chat.
It's impressive.
Your thing's not
You
charging?
could do... You have the internet on that thing?
Yeah.
What?
Amazingly
How do you
enough.
keep it in? Like, how
Man.
does it not fall through the cracks?
Tape.
Oh.
It's taped over. It holds
Huh.
the internet in.
Yeah, remember?
It's duct tape?
Packing tape.
Oh.
Tape.
Android tape.
I figured it was duct tape.
Kit Kat.
Or WD-40. How to fix everything.
Lollipop.
What?
That's the
Do you
US.
have, are you holding the lollipop inside with the duct tape?
Yes.
Or the masking tape? Or Packing tape. Cool.
These are great jokes.
Hey,
What's next? Do you have the marshmallows on there yet? Do you have the?
I cannot remember.
Do you have
what,
the? What's next? Do you have the nougat? Nougat?
yeah, nougat.
It's umami.
God damn it.
It's the next one.
Uncultured swine.
What?
Oh, that's the next one. That's a weird
Man.
choice.
Yes.
It's all been sweets
well,
and
it-
stuff, and then it's all uncultured swine.
Wow, is that a candy?
Yes.
Oh,
Are there ever cultured swine?
it's always a swine time to have.
Yeah, sure.
Uncultured swine.
Miss Piggy is a cultured swine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we should do the internet.
Nah.
Yeah,
We're doing the internet.
I want to do the internet.
All right, cool.
The whole fucking thing at the same time.
I guess I'll sit up proper, like, and pretend like I care. I mean, I care. I totally care.
What do you care about?
I care about everything. I care about.
That's
this.
not true, and we know it. There's-
For some reason, Letterboxd has 2 entries for this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
weird.
Why
Different cover art.
not? No, same cover art and everything. Just one has a year, one does not.
I'll get on the movie database and fix it,
Okay.
since I have to do Letterboxd's work for them.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
The app's been all right.
yeah, the app's all right.
I like the app.
Oh yeah, I forgot
app.
they have an app. I need to get that app.
It's a pretty good app.
Pretty good app.
That app.
That app.
The only thing I don't like is their calendar doesn't work like a calendar when you're putting in a date.
Why do they have a calendar? Oh,
Yeah.
Because like if I've waited 6 days before logging a movie and then I have to try and figure out what
Oh.
day it actually was, that's a pain.
Yeah,
so you're,
and
like,
also
you're actually like journaling the movie and times and all that.
Yeah, you mark the date.
I
you
just
watched
marked
it.
the date.
It's your diary.
Oh.
Your diary.
I found it's more useful for just like reading the activity feed and entering your own reviews.
Yeah.
Like doing anything else, like trying to look up a movie and then look up anything on it is like, nope, don't even bother with this.
I do like that you can get to your friends' reviews of movies in the app, whereas the web version on your mobile device you couldn't see any. It was just like, these reviews are popular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just some asshole saying like, this movie has tits.
Yeah.
900 likes.
Yep.
Hey, you follow me on Letterboxd?
I'd like also that the activity feed like basically clips to the first paragraph.
Yes.
So when somebody writes a 10,000 word 3-star review of, 2012, it doesn't just destroy your feed when you get to it.
You mean the movie 2012?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Or any just generic.
Sure.
Like I was trying to think of a movie that deserves significantly less than 10,000 words, and
10,000
2012 came to, that too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the new Clash of the Titans movies. They're
Yeah.
all right if you're bored.
Yeah. You could do worse.
You could do worse.
Like that should just be every review of it should be like, you could do worse.
Yeah,
They're
I
fine.
mean, they're literally
Fine.
Chuck Fine.
Well, but there's so
will
many
not,
of 'em.
They will not reach through the screen and gouge your eyes out.
There's so many of them. I just want to write, if this came on FX, you probably wouldn't shut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, that's the majority of them, because FX, like every commercial is like, we got the movies. And I'm like, technically, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Technically, yes. You have the movies.
You have the replacement
They
colors.
could be doing what? Wasn't there one channel that seemed like they were actually mining the depths of like their rotation movies were the worst things, like Geely and things like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't remember what network that was, but it was just like, we got movies and they're the shit ones, so come watch them here, and they're edited for TV. That would be awesome. Like,
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember that. I remember when AMC used to be American Movie Classics, and they'd show classic movies.
Sure,
Now they're like
Turner
nah,
classic movies.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead all the time. Yeah.
What
And
was
then-
their first scripted series on AMC?
What? What was what?
The first scripted series on AMC.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Mad Men?
Was it?
Probably.
Because it was only like 2007. So they waited that long before they started scripting things.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was probably something else. They probably tested some water.
Yeah, they probably did.
Okay.
They had reality shows for a little while there, so
Hmm.
they probably just said, fuck it. Let's make an advertising show.
Yep. Speaking of making a show,
Let's make a show. Let's put on a show for the people.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vote for this? All right, here we go. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
Episode 319.
A lot.
Numbers.
Wow.
It's a lot.
So I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Sometimes free of any themes whatsoever.
Hooray!
Freedom.
Themeless.
So we talk about it for the first half, then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies, they get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Big fan of robot jocks.
But, however, there are bad movies. Doesn't stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags and douchebags after Twilight.
Boo.
No.
No thanks.
No.
Not fans.
No.
So we've been doing some Andy Sedaris movies over the years.
We certainly have.
correct.
And,
Yes, we have.
We did another one. I mean, we've been doing this series,
Yes.
the Lethal series.
Sure.
And
Yes.
and we've gotten to the next one, 1993's Hard Hunted.
Hard hunted. The hardest of the hunters.
So, yeah, let's read a plot summary. A nuclear trigger is being smuggled to the Middle East, and the global balance of power is in jeopardy. A female federal agent goes undercover to steal it and ends up being murdered.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Yeah. I have to say the rest of the line because it's just so funny.
Okay.
3 other busty federal agents, along with their beefcake companions, have to save the day.
I like the way you kind of writhe in your chair when you're saying that.
Beefcake companion.
Kind of gross.
Listen, beefcake always saves the day.
Beefcake.
Yeah.
So, just to be clear, this is not the Picasso trigger.
No.
No, it is not that trigger.
Okay.
I
That
don't-
was a
I don't
fish.
think so.
Right.
That was a trigger fish?
Picasso trigger was a fish.
Was it really? I don't know what the hell a Picasso trigger was.
Yeah. But it wasn't this.
I thought it was a trigger that was all like weird, angular.
Nothing on this trigger makes sense.
Could cubist trigger.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But it probably has the same characters in it because these ladies have been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean Donna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donna's
Yay.
back.
Oh,
And
Donna.
Nicole?
Donna and Nicole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But we don't
Nicole
get to
is-
them for a while.
Yeah.
We got to set this movie up
I guess.
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah,
like
they
people
do.
on a boat.
We have to set
And-
this movie up because nobody else did. Yeah.
People on a boat are going towards a flare, a flare on a basketball.
Yeah. Well, it's like
a buoy.
It's like it's a buoy, like a drop buoy.
I guess.
But there's a thing. There's a MacGuffin in this bag that they get.
Sure is.
That is this little green jade Buddha thing, like made in China, literally piece of shit thing. You know, it was just a thing that they found. And they were like, yeah, this is the thing everybody's after. It's super valuable, and as
You think it's a valuable artifact.
well, that's what he says. He's like, this piece
This
of
is
art,
priceless.
This is priceless, and
That's why we threw it
Yeah.
in a fanny pack.
it's I'm going to rule the world with it.
Right.
And it's like okay, but
And he's Kane.
he's Kane.
Kane, which he's a little weaselly British man. Like if you close your eyes, it's Julian Sands, but if you open your eyes, it's just some pasty jerk.
Yeah, he's kind of
So
like
Julian
early,
Sands.
Kind of.
he's kind of early '90s Michael Pare-ish.
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit.
I mean, Julian Sands has a presence. This guy's just
Yes.
like, I'm kind of surprised
Well, okay.
that voice is coming out of that guy.
This is like if Julian Sands' voice came out of Balki Bartokovich. I can't fucking say his name. Balki Bartokovich.
Yeah, from yeah,
I just did that a little backwards. Here.
yeah.
Now, wasn't Kane the name of Pat Morita's character in Do or Die?
It was.
Uh huh.
No idea if this is the same guy. I don't remember if they killed Pat Morita at the end of that movie or not.
I don't think they did.
I do kind of remember in a lot of these movies saying, why did they just let the bad guy get away?
Yeah, I believe he got away in that one.
Because it feels like all the movies are like the bad guy gets away and then they just get on a yacht and like, we had this thing the whole time, and then they drink and then they get in the hot tub.
Yeah, I'll be honest. At this point, like the Sedaris movies that aren't Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah.
There's like Return to Savage Beach, where it's like, oh yeah, there was that weird Japanese like soldier got left behind thing.
Yeah.
But aside from that, everything else in all the other ones is just this jumble of boobs and guns.
Jumble of boobs.
Jumbo
Yeah,
boobs,
there's a cover band
drive
for
me
you.
wild.
But
Yeah.
But so like they're all. I couldn't tell you what happened in any of them at this point.
I remember one that seemed to be very misguided where they were in Europe or something, and it was about jewelry or something, and it was just like, this is not what anyone wants. What are you doing? But yeah, you're right. The rest of them just all kind of blend together.
But Kane was the name of the main bad guy who
Yeah.
they kind of set up as Pat Morita.
Uh-huh.
It's not Pat Morita anymore.
Nope.
It's a British dude who's
Julian
like,
Sands.
50 years younger.
Yes.
So,
Whatever.
He's our main bad guy. He beds a couple ladies
Yeah, like first scene,
mid-credits.
Yeah, it's like credits are still happening, and he has like, sexy Asian companion lady with him, but like, suddenly he goes into he's like, I'm tired, I'm going to bed, and of course that means sexy time in this universe, and so like, this other lady comes in, and we're like, okay, we don't know who you are, and he has a three-way, I guess,
She works on the boat.
Yeah.
So we are led to believe.
Sure.
Well, he has two sexy Asian ladies and then an additional lady,
Right.
who's the woman that works on the boat.
Mika.
No, I think it was
Mika.
I thought Mika was the one that joined them for this.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
She was all dressed up in that opening scene.
Yeah. I think
that
she-
was Mika.
Yeah. That.
But then she put on her
Not-
crew outfit and didn't look the same.
Right.
Okay.
It's all very disjointed and weird, but
Yeah.
there's some boobs like right away, and you're like, oh, all right.
Well, like longer than your average Sedaris movie, but shorter than most other movies.
Yes. Yes.
There's
Sure.
There's your ratio.
Yeah.
But I mean, very quickly they're giving little glances. The ladies are giving glances to each other, like they're in on this. Like we're gonna play this guy, and very quickly it's like, oh, follow this thing. What is that thing? Let's leave secret messages.
Yeah. Speaking of secret messages,
Go on.
we are introduced very quickly to Edie, who we remember reintroduced. Edie, who owns the club called Edie's. Who is singing a song and doing all this stuff, and this other lady comes in and kind of like tips the sunglasses to her, and he's like, I'm singing a song and you're great, whoever you are. And she goes into the KSXY radio studio.
Yes.
Which is sexy.
In the building that houses Edie's nightclub.
Yeah. And Shane is signing off for the day.
Shane Abilene.
Yeah, Shane Abilene from previous ones, even though I believe it's a different dude again,
Who knows?
but it doesn't really matter.
No.
But-
Make sure to say his first and last name every time.
Shane Abilene.
Yeah. But Eva gets on the radio.
Ava.
And Ava. And she is just like she's supposed to be your sexy nighttime.
Well, this is what
She's
I love.
your
Quiet
sexy
storm.
astrologer.
Yeah, astrology.
Shane is wrapping up
Sex advice.
his time, like his daytime shift.
Yes.
He's wrapping that up, and got sexy assistant lady bringing him coffee and stuff. And I don't understand the point of the radio station, because it's just them talking about like how sexy and awesome their lives are. Basically, like, man, if you were in the studio right now, whoo,
Yeah.
this lady sure is
He's
hot.
like the
It's like,
hottest
man,
assistant
Isn't that
ever,
what
bringing
90s
me
radio
coffee.
was
like,
anyway?
This
Yeah.
radio's so good. Good radio content, guys.
And I love that it's Becky is the chick's name. I don't believe she ever says a word throughout the movie.
She does during the shooting.
Yeah, they're taking
When they shoot
target
the
range
cans.
practice or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
But that's about
otherwise,
it.
her job is to walk around in a bikini.
Yes.
Yes.
Or topless.
Or
She's
half a
very
bikini.
good at her job.
She's what they assigned her to do. Spot on.
But I
Excellent job, Becky.
I only bring this up because Shane is ending his run as the DJ.
Yeah.
Shane will never be the DJ ever again.
No.
matter the time
No.
of day. But he never leaves.
He
Also,
just
No.
sits there and drinks coffee.
right.
And admires Tits McGee.
But yes, so Ava comes on, and
Also, Shane is ending his shift midday.
Sure.
And Ava is coming on for her
Night shift.
overnight
Midnight.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overnight
midnight.
shift.
Yes, which then lasts 2 weeks.
I'm going to take you through the night. Yeah.
but yeah,
Maybe all this takes place in one day.
no.
no.
Pretty
No.
sure it does.
I know it doesn't because there is a nighttime.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
a-
but that was a fake nighttime.
There's a couple night. There are multiple night
yes,
times.
many nights go by.
Like a fortnight.
Many night times occur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, these and Edie and Ava, they have been in other movies too, but
Had Ava? I didn't remember
yeah,
her.
she had been too. She was
Okay.
she was in the last one in some capacity.
Okay, but she was not in this capacity.
No, there was no
Okay.
radio
No,
station.
this radio station is
Yeah.
a new invention to
right
this movie.
because okay, so it seems ridiculous what's going on, what's going out over the airwaves of this radio station, but then like when they get information. The whole radio station is basically a front to communicate with the other special secret sexy agents.
Yes.
So what follows after this is just nothing but coded bullshit to tell like somebody to go somewhere and do something. Mm-hmm. And like any normal person listening to what they think is just a radio station that plays nothing but this one nightclub lady's songs over and over and over again has got to be fucking bewildered by what's happening. I would totally listen to the station and just be amazed by everything that's going on.
It's got to be like listening to a numbers channel, you know? You're
Yes.
just like, there's a message here. Maybe we can figure it out.
And as we remarked during the movie, that would have been a lot more effective than what they're doing, because at one point they're taking calls from the girl from the boat who has escaped. She blows up the safe.
Well,
Yeah.
does she?
Well, okay, what
Yeah.
Mika does.
Yeah, we're jumping around in the plot, but like, yeah, basically just know that
Well, because it's
Ava
all
starts.
happening.
Yeah, Ava starts this bullshit radio overnight thing where she's just saying random things in a sexy voice.
Yep.
Like it makes no sense what she's saying at any point in time, even before it seems like it's coded messages. But yes, simultaneous to this,
Yeah.
the third wheel in the three-way from earlier has now. You know, it's like the next day, and they've left messages on glasses. You know, with like the whole "I'll write on the glass." And then, okay, breath. I can see what you said. And the plan is like the Jade Buddha is in the safe. Break into the safe. So it's sleeping powder in the champagne glass. You know, Kane goes down. He's
Yes.
out. So they're going to blow the safe
My
open.
God, King goes down.
They blow open the safe like it looks like plastic explosives or silly putty with a fuse coming out of it. And like there's a dramatic like she grabs this like almost out cigarette, lights it, and like ducks around the corner, and then like imagine the cheapest like the 5-year-old dollar store firecracker goes off.
It's like
It's barely even that. It just goes.
Yeah.
a sparkler is more powerful.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is a sparkler with aspirations of something more. This is a bulky snake that has gone off, and
Yes.
and it just goes,
That was my nickname in college.
and it just But she goes, oh, good, all right,
Yeah. And the safe just goes whoosh. So she gets the
Like
thing.
somebody yanked it open with a string.
Yeah.
She gets the thing and rendezvous with a windsurfer.
Right.
Well, not.
Well, like a dude comes out and she has to shoot him first, but
He's like,
Yeah.
freeze. And she's like,
nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
just leaves him there.
But yeah, she does the old toss stuff off the side of the boat, jump in the water, and yes, rendezvous with a windsurfer.
Named Cole,
Cole.
who gets her to the shore. And they
Cole, by the way, is played by Buzzy Kerbox.
Buzzy
Buzzy.
Kerbox.
Buzzy.
What else was old Buzzy Kerbox in?
I don't know. Nothing.
He's
This
very-
is it.
He is very Will Arnett-ish.
He's a surfer. He did some stunts in Waterworld.
Ooh.
Stunts.
Oh, stunts.
Yeah, but this is
Did he
only-
do some windsurfing, perhaps?
Maybe there was some windsurfing in that. So, but yeah,
yeah.
this is his only acting credit.
Oh, Fuzzy. Or Buzzy,
Buzzy.
whatever your name is.
Fuzzy.
Hey, Fuzzy.
But yeah, so the
yeah, so-
windsurfer dude gets her
Yeah.
back to the beach.
And she calls in like from her cell phone, and immediately like gets in the car and is like, I gotta change of plans. I gotta go.
No, first she takes a shower.
That's true.
Very important. She strips
Because,
down and takes
yeah,
a shower.
They needed to get some
I've got
nudity
to
out of
change
her as well.
first.
So we watch a nice shower for a few minutes,
Yep.
and
And
Well-
then she goes, "You got to get me to the airport."
But she goes from like, sexy, spy lady jumping off, and then like she puts on the mommest of mom jeans.
Yeah.
Like her outfit after this is like, wow, like let's see how unflattering we can possibly make you.
that mom jeans
Yeah.
ruined
Comfort over
everyone's
style.
ass.
Yeah,
in the
she is
90s.
dressed as Blossom's mom for the rest of her time in this movie.
Yeah.
Which involves, oh no, I've got to get out of here. Get
Right.
me to the
Yeah.
airport.
But the way she calls, like, she has to let Edie know that this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So she calls into Ava's radio station, but actually, she calls in. Ava goes, Edie, come in here. We have to take this call.
And they take the call on the air.
on the air and give her coded messages over the air, despite being on the phone with her
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And actually muting the mic and going, we need to tell her to go to see where Donna is.
Muting the phone mic, not the radio mic.
Yeah.
Like them conversing back and forth is still going out.
So
Theoretically.
so they look at the map on the wall that has a little pinprick in Arizona that says Donna and Nicole.
Right.
So like, oh, Well, you need to head east. You have to get away from your evil boyfriend who will only chase you down and hurt you.
Right. So go to a place of spiritual healing north of Flagstaff or wherever.
Sedona.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Go to a secret place
Yes.
north of Sedona called Cathedral Rock.
Yeah.
Go exactly to that place.
The healing powers there will protect you from.
To be fair,
what
Sedona
ails
is
you.
known for that. Flagstaff, not so much.
Whatever. I don't know, but they're just. And then she like repeats it back. She's like, "Oh, okay. So I will take myself to Sedona, Arizona, and meet up with the two who are going to help me escape my boyfriend." They're like, "Yes, have sexy times in Sedona."
It's like. What the? And we're still just thinking, anyone listening to this radio station is like, what the fuck advice is that? Who the fuck tells somebody to go to Sedona?
You're in Hawaii.
Like, you're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know how much a plane trip is? Even in 92?
You can't just
That's
keep
so
driving.
fucking expensive. That's bad advice, Ava.
It is bad advice.
I would not listen to any of Ava's bullshit
You're
advice.
a bad sexologist.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you're bad at an imaginary job here.
yeah. So whatever. She's like, cool,
Which
sweet.
she turned into a real job in real life.
Yeah.
Did it?
If you can believe that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wait, what? That's
Yes.
what she does then?
Yes.
This lady does this now.
Yes.
Yes.
Somewhere she is spouting this bullshit
Yes.
on some public medium?
She's a doctor.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Like an actual doctor or I bought a degree doctor?
She has a doctorate
Okay.
in doctoring.
Technically, all doctors buy their degree.
Yes,
yeah.
that's true. They don't just hand them out unless you go to insert university burn of your choice.
Yes. Good insult, sir.
Oh, thank you. I want to stay non-confrontational.
Sure.
So anyway, okay, so there's some.
Confrontational.
We get some establishing shots of Washington D.C.
That's
a
right.
lot of Washington D.C.
Oh, yeah.
Like
a
man,
lot of stock footage.
They
of
established the
DC.
fuck out of it.
if you're not sure we're in Washington D.C., hang on another 30 seconds. We're going to establish it.
Or you just don't know any of the monuments in Washington, D.C.
Or that. But we end up in a room somewhere with some not attractive people, like no one with boobs that we want to see.
Yeah.
And they just have a
They're in
meeting.
suits and shit.
Yeah. And they're just like
Lame.
having a meeting about the dumb jade statue.
Oh, yeah, which at this point we learn has a nuclear trigger in it.
Yeah. They call it, I don't know, some dumb
Oh, yeah.
the Patriot Fulcrum or some shit. But
It was also my nickname in college.
That's the
Had a lot
play
of
they
nicknames.
used to win the Super Bowl.
That was my signature move.
Patriot
the
Fulcrum.
Klystron Relay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just as good.
Is that actually on the back of
It's
the
on the back,
DVD
yeah.
box?
Wow.
My goodness.
It's on the back of the Girls, Guns, and G-Strings Andy Sedaris Collection 12-film set.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Available at fine retailers like
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah. So basically, like the one dude who's actually the continuing character in this movie,
Lucas
is, he gets on the phone and calls the radio station. And is just basically like, listen, that thing's super important and we need to find Mika. So I'm coming out there.
Yeah.
And
Ava's just like, head west.
yeah.
And you'll
Until
find
you
your
can't
destination.
Go any west anymore.
Your friends will understand.
When possible, please make a U-turn.
And when you get here, you might want to sex me a bit. In the name of
Edie
radio.
says that.
Oh, okay, whatever. Someone, who cares?
Yeah. but
So he's like, I'm on a plane. I'm coming.
yeah. And meanwhile, Cole has dropped the other chick off. He dropped Mika off at the airport to head to Arizona.
Yeah.
And immediately reveals that he's a double agent because he calls Kane and goes, "Hey, she's going to Arizona."
Right.
And Kane's like, "Oh, well, I'll take care of this."
Yeah, which for some reason they have a conversation, but not about anything of value because then he sails out to the boat, and Kane's like, you know,
I thought that's when he revealed because they're like, "Oh, we have a windsurfer coming in, sir."
yeah,
and they drag
radar
him-
shows windsurfer
drag him-
coming at us.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, that's not completely inaccurate. Radars can pick them up, but
It's still-
anyway. But I mean, like they pick them up.
Nobody
they get 'em on-
windsurfs at night.
All right.
That's not accurate.
He brings him aboard. He's like, "Wait, you're telling me you drove her to the airport and you didn't stop her?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Kill him!" And he's like, "Whoa, wait! I know where she is." He's Sedona.
I know what
He's
plane
like, "You have proved semi-useful. I will allow you." And he's like, "Please see him off the boat." And he has his two goons like just pick him up arms and legs style, like just kind of throw him off the boat.
And he just goes, "Hey!"
And he's just like, "What?
Yeah.
All right."
Yeah, and Kane like talks to his girlfriend and is basically like, "Don't worry, we'll take care of this. I know a man. You'll like him. He's Asian."
Does he say that?
Yeah, he does. He totally is like, don't worry, we can trust him because he's Asian like you.
Oh, well.
It's just, and that's when
It's
you
like
see,
setting up your two gay friends just because they're gay.
Exactly.
It's like,
Right.
You'll
Yeah.
get-
Obviously, you
You'll-
have so much in
yeah.
common.
You'll love that person.
you'll really be
They're
okay
so
with
gay.
this plan. Yeah. So
Well,
that
I don't know about you, but I get along with every heterosexual person on the planet.
totally,
Personally,
just
yeah,
that's how
I just
that's how it works
have
out. It's
that much
weird.
in common.
But yeah.
All the rest is just
Totally
gravy.
weird.
But apparently if you're Asian, you'll get along great and you're trustworthy. Sure.
So right, like it cuts from that to you start to see a contraption of some kind, and it's got just shit strapped to it, and missiles and guns, and you start to see a name that's in dumb cheap letters on it. It says Raven, and it's it's a little
It's a gyrocopter.
sure, but it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. It's comical.
It looks like a
tiny,
gyrocopter with more shit on it.
like a tiny airwolf. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And
Like a poor man's tiny airwolf.
and so
It's like
not
an
only
air cub.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so the helicopter is named Raven, but its pilot is also named Raven, and it's a BMFcast alum.
Al Leong.
Uh-huh. Who speaks in this movie.
Yeah.
It's
A
weird.
lot.
He has lines of dialogue. He got paid for it, probably.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
And
but-
so he's in Arizona with this helicopter, and so are the stars of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I get the feeling they're at like the same airport. Like she's landing in the same airport where he has this copter thing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Seems like it. But so...
Phoenix
There's only
Sky
one
Harbor
near
Airport.
Sedona.
Yeah, well, there's nothing else. But so the stars of the movie and our friends from previous installments, Donna and Nicole, are just lounging in a desert stream, just splashing each other and
They're on vacation.
throwing water on
Nicole
each other.
says
Cathedral Rock.
she's just going to work on her tan.
Yeah.
And she's happy to be away from a phone. Which explains why nobody has let them know.
How long ago did Nicole join in? Because who was the other one that left?
There was one in like the first two movies, and then Nicole showed up. Nicole's been in like 3.
Oh, really? Because I
Yeah.
thought her little blonde sidekick was along for longer than that.
She was definitely
Yeah,
in
the
the
blonde
last one.
sidekick was in like
I just don't
Hard
remember her
Ticket and a couple
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
name. Yeah, okay.
She left after like the fourth one.
Okay.
Ah,
Hope
all right.
Marie Carlton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't even remember her character's name.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. I
Yeah.
don't know.
But so yeah, they're just splashing around, having doing what ladies do.
And it's weird also because like the soundtrack has the sinister stuff of like Al Leong getting ready and
Yeah.
getting Raven the chopper ready and all this.
And they're just
like
splashing each
and like
other.
the sinister music continues as the ladies are just like splashing each other in slow motion in a creek.
Yep.
But-
And Mika is driving towards them.
Mika, poor Mika. Like she goes out to the middle of buttfuck nowhere to find these two.
Sedona.
Wherever they are, near Cathedral Rock. It's implied she's driven a long ways out in the middle of the goddamn desert to find these two.
Yeah.
And then she gets there and like is like, I made it. This is really important. And then Al Leong's chopper pops up and just fucking guns her down. Like she got all the way out there
Yeah.
to die literally 5 seconds later wearing mom jeans.
Yeah.
It's a very undignified way to go.
She's like, oh hey,
Yeah. Mika. And they're like, oh shit, Mika.
Bury me with my mom jeans.
And Donna like goes over to her and checking for pulse and everything. And
She's
Nicole's
like, we're going to get you home.
yeah, don't worry, we'll get you out of here. It's like,
Yeah.
what, to the morgue? Yeah, she's fucking dead. Because Nicole's like, how is she? And Donna's like, she's dead.
She'll get a proper burial.
Right. But no, they just leave her because
Yeah, they do. They fucking leave her. They grab the bag that she had
and they hop in their dune buggy.
and they get the hell out.
I got the impression that was actually Donna's bag because they didn't know about this Buddha thing because she never got a chance to tell her. And like as she was dying, she like
She
took
did do something.
and
I think
like,
she
put it
slipped
in
it in
another
there.
bag.
Yeah.
So I think she put it in something that Donna would have grabbed naturally when running away
Yeah.
because there was no reason for her to
Right, because
grab her
the
shit.
bad guys show up, they check her bag,
Right.
and it's empty. But
Yeah, but Al Leong, they had this little tent set up for shade with a little like picnic table on it. And Al Leong just blows that thing up with a rocket launcher.
nukes that thing.
Yeah, they're diving out of the way.
Yeah.
And this basically just starts a long chase with him chasing them while they're in the dune buggy. And Nicole actually goes, "Aren't we going to go back for Mika?" And I was like, "I don't think that's a good idea."
No.
We'll call somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, someone will come get her. We got other things to do.
Yeah, I got a guy.
Yeah. And Nicole is
He'll
shooting.
show up with a carpet and some plastic.
Right. So
Don't worry about Mika.
Nicole is shooting at this thing with just the tiniest gun. Just her little tiny, like, under your hat kind of like thing. Which makes...
Under your hat?
Yeah, you know.
Who keeps a gun under their hat?
Nicole.
Hat assassins.
Assassins. But it's making a sound like, you know, every gun in every Italian spaghetti western. It's so... Yeah.
But yeah, they eventually, like, the cops are like, man, this is a gyrocopter and it's shooting at people.
God.
So they kind of like go, they're like, well, let's intercept it somehow or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Ao Leong for some reason starts chasing them.
Oh yeah.
While letting the two women get away.
Yeah, and they hide behind this, like, the cops get out of the car because their car gets stuck because they're idiots. And they run behind the sign that says, "Welcome to Sedona. Please don't litter." And shoot at Ao Leong's helicopter from there.
Which he does not care for.
Which, no, he doesn't take kindly to, so he blows them up with a missile along with the sign.
Yeah. And you just get a sheriff's hat on fire, roll back over to the car.
Rolling off the
Like,
car hood.
wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other cops who, like, they had radioed are like, come in. And nothing. And then they get out there, and then it's... I don't know why, but they spend so much time with the other cops who get there and are like, oh, man. It's like
I linger for just a little bit. Like,
I know. Yeah. I expected them to have, like, the Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, you know, burning skeletons next to the Sedona sign, and the cops just going, no.
To be fair, though, fuck those guys because their introduction to the scene is basically like, hot, ain't it? It's like, yeah, it's dry heat. I'm like, if any fucking two human beings on this planet have this conversation with one another, they need to hide behind a sign and blow up.
Especially if they've been somewhere more than a day.
Yes.
Like, yeah, we know what the fucking weather is in Phoenix.
We've lived here for 40 years. Isn't it hot today? Yeah, but it's dry.
They've had a very strained relationship lately. You're lucky they're even talking to each other.
I guess
Chuck.
so.
A lot's been going on between those guys.
Yeah, it was really like a whole True Detective thing. We were just coming in for the tail end.
Yeah.
Like the other one had sex with the other one's wife. It was just it got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we should make that movie.
But then they blew up.
Yeah.
And it's over.
But yeah, so they linger on the charred corpses of their two friends for a little bit.
Yeah.
Before Donna's like, all right, we got to get to Hawaii.
Right.
So Mika flew all the way from Hawaii to get to Arizona.
Yeah.
To die, to give them a thing to go like, all right, well, let's just bring this fucking thing back to Hawaii.
Yeah. Dumb. They just had a day in Arizona where they're like, let's film in this lake.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool here.
They're like, no, all right, it's time to get back to Hawaii.
Yeah. So they go back to Hawaii.
Yep.
Yeah, but like at this point, like they're getting back to Molokai Cargo, you know, their home base for all this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's Molokai Cargo / Edie / the radio station. It's just this.
It's all things.
Spy
it's
complex
whatever
they have.
Yeah, whatever you need.
But like essentially, like we've now seen conversations. We know that Cole is like a bad guy now. You know, like he's like he's a double agent. You know, all this stuff. And so he's just there, like when everybody starts to get back, just like you know, polishing the planes and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, that's weird that this guy's just like here before we got here. Do we trust him? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and everyone's been called into action. Like like Bruce, the first time we see him is he hops on a dirt bike in his kitchen.
Right.
And takes off.
Oh, that's right. Because
he's got a Jungle Heat poster on his wall.
Yeah, but he's just got the dirt bike parked in
like
his apartment.
Well, like, it's like where the dining room table should go, but he doesn't need one.
No, just hops right on there. Well, because he gets more. He's listening to the radio station and gets like a calling all blonde super agents. You know, your water sign is in the west, and so
all you hot Geminis out there,
your two-wheeled force of fury needs to point north, and you know it's like, and he's like, "Fuck yeah!"
Whenever anything aligns with Mars, it's time to go to war.
Yes,
but he and Shane get there, and they're like, and Cole's like, "Well, I heard that, you know, everyone's meeting up because something's
going down."
Yeah, Mika said to come here.
Yeah, and they're like, well, he doesn't know that Mika's dead. That's something.
Why is he just like here? But like this begins the like. I mean, it's a running thing in the series. These people are supposed to be highly trained spies, and they have the worst conversations in the worst places and don't notice a thing. Because like they keep having these like, I don't know if we trust this guy right next to a door that's cracked just a little bit open.
Right,
and of course he's just like peering around the corner and you know just lurking out and listening to all of this.
Yep.
And like he's just doing this like dumb hide and listen to every bit of conversation, and it really never goes anywhere because like about this time that's when like Donna and Nicole like land and are parking the plane and everything.
He does call and tells his guys, "Hey, Donna's landing."
Mm-hmm. But there was this whole like they cut to this really dumb shot where like they just keep having excuses to go back to the radio station where Ava is in increasingly ridiculous amounts of dress or types of dress that she's like
just drenched in sweat and her tits are just hanging out, and sometimes like she's in the hot tub like on a remote mic, and sometimes she's sometimes the coffee chick is there with her and she's also naked, and it's like the fuck is going on?
Like they'll cut back and she's wearing like the caveman outfit, like
loincloth,
just like this and like stupid like Wilma Flintstone like bone belt and shit. I don't know. It's all ridiculous shit, and they just keep cutting back to her. But there's this one in particular. They cut back, and she's like, "I just want to say to our lost blonde, or something like that, we get home safely." And then like 5 seconds later, they're landing already. It's like, well, glad we had that little chat.
Yeah.
They're back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But they get back, and Nicole comes in and is like, "All right, well, Mika's dead. We gotta." Lucas said to wait for all of us to get here, so. We're all going to get together, and then we're going to form a plan.
Yeah, we wait.
And Donna's like, all right, well, I'm going to, park the plane or whatever.
Lasso it, to the hitching post.
Button up.
So it doesn't run away.
And being a highly trained spy who recognizes everything, doesn't notice the giant dude that drives up in a Jeep with a fucking stun gun.
No.
Walks up to her and zaps her in the neck.
Like, to frame this properly, she is, like, putting the boots and everything on the wheels and all this. I mean, she's doing things with the plane. The plane is off. It's not making noise.
No.
And this guy drives 5 feet in front of her, like, front of her.
Parks within the frame.
Yeah.
We can see him.
And she stands there and happens to pull the jade thing out of her little pack and look at it for a bit.
Yeah, because she's like, what's this?
And this guy just gets out of the Jeep, walks around the side of the plane, to which he never hears any of this, and goes...
With a machine gun strapped to him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Keep in mind.
And just stun guns her in the neck.
Yep.
And she just, crumples like you would.
Yeah. As another plane lands.
And a guy parachutes in for no fucking reason.
Guy parachutes in to assist with the kidnapping, and another plane lands for them to push her into and take her away.
So basically, 3 of the 4 directions have someone coming at her.
Yeah. The only direction where
she happens to be looking in that 4th direction.
She's looking towards the building where all her friends are.
She's like Mr. Magooing it completely.
Yep. But yes, so she gets taken, which is a new thing in all of this. It's like they basically invalidate Donna for most of the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But she just gets she crumples up and gets thrown in the plane. Now the dude that stun gunned her stays behind. Like everyone else gets in the plane, is like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And for whatever dumb reason, he just stays behind, and they have this.
Well, he stayed behind because he was trying to stall the rest of everybody.
Yeah, but Kane is giving them orders over the radio.
But he basically just stands there, and they have like an open air gun battle. Like there's nobody's hiding behind anything. They're just standing in the open, shooting at each other and missing wildly.
Yeah.
Until eventually they don't.
It's like those scenes in The Naked Gun where they're like 2 feet away from each other, just shooting at each other.
Yeah. And Shane continues the Abilene shooting thing, which they had demonstrated earlier.
Yeah.
As you mentioned with the cans.
Right.
Which is the only lines Becky has, in that he can't hit the can sitting there, and she nails
we
them
mean
all.
like empty
Becky has cans.
beer cans,
yes,
not
Pepsi cans.
Yeah, just make
with a
clarifying
tape over the Pepsi.
Right.
Just clarifying which cans we mean.
Yeah,
Fallen, they were honoring the fallen cans.
But yeah, he shoots the mirror off of the van that he's hiding behind.
That's great when he does that, because he's just like, it's just a wacky bit of comedy during them trying to save their friend, and the whole bit he's just like, oh shit, I hope no one saw me shoot this mirror off the van, because like when it's all over too, he picks it up like, those guys shot the mirror off the van. Did you see that?
This is not safe now. We can't drive this van.
We can't drive the van.
But yeah, so Donna's been kidnapped. They killed the one guy that stun gunned her because, I don't know, they finally decided not to miss.
Yeah. And the other girl is mad.
Oh yeah, Nicole is pissed.
Nicole is so, like...
This aggression will not stand.
Furious.
Yeah. Yeah, her splash partner has been taken down, and,
she has no time for shenanigans at this point.
None.
Because she does not want to wait for Lucas. She's like, we got to find her. They got Donna, those fucks.
Now, the next thing that happens is really, really weird, because, I mean, There's a. I don't know, do we want to go into the part about the weird assassins?
Well, right before that presents itself.
Yeah. There's another part where like they all basically get together and they make up this plan, and it looks like they're about to get, I think, on a plane together. Like they're all talking like, okay, let's do this. We're going to go to this island. She probably is here. Break.
Yeah.
And it looks like they all get on this plane. Next thing you know, Edie and guy from Washington, Lucas, are just behind, like left behind. Like the other two took off, and it's like, wait, why are you not with them?
And
what happens is they meet and they make the plan, and then cut to the bedroom, and Lucas is like, well, guess we can't do anything till morning.
It's like, we have to wait.
Yeah.
We just have to wait here for something to happen, and there's nothing we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And Evie's like, well, even James Bond takes breaks for sex or something, and he's like, yeah.
I thought he said who? I thought it was his response. It was like, womp womp.
Yeah,
you know,
but then
either way,
they have the sex.
It's been a while since there's been some nudity, so
sure,
yeah.
But I'm just saying it's very disturbing because it looks like they're all like, fuck yeah, let's go get Donna, and then they're just like, well, they hang out behind.
That's because Nicole is disproportionately pissed off about this from everybody else. Everybody else is like, we'll figure this out.
Yeah. Well, Nicole's like, no, we will go now.
But Lucas also makes the really good point of like, all right, goal number 1, get the Buddha/trigger. And she's like, what about Donna? It's like, yeah, I want to get her back too, but this is a nuclear weapon trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of important. Yeah. Priority 1, that. Priority 2, Donna.
Like, whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, but I mean, they have this whole like laid out plan on the dock, and then, like I said, it's just cut to like they're still at the hideout, and the other two have left.
So they have the weird inappropriate time for sex thing, which then sets the theme for all the sex in the rest of the movie, which is basically like we can't do anything else but wait for the big event to happen, so might as well bone.
Yeah.
It's like Mass Effect of just basically like earth-shattering stuff is going down, but why don't we just bone to kill time?
It's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah.
Ship's on autopilot.
I figure if and when they eventually rescue Donna, they're going to be like, man, we got to you as fast as we could. I swear we only had sex like 7 times.
Yeah.
Each. I mean...
Oh, only 7. You must have rushed.
Yeah, we were in such a hurry. Like, woof. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but...
and Donna, none of us got into the hot tub to think.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Donna, meanwhile, is on the plane where she's been kidnapped, and the guys are calling Kane over their little walkie-talkie.
This is the best.
Yeah, and they're just like, all right, we got her. And Kane's like, well, let me talk to her. And he's like, all right, well, you can hand over the thing, and we're going to toss you out of the plane, and it sucks to be you. Right. Doesn't it, Donna?
Stupid Donna.
Yeah. He's like, I don't like you. So we're going to throw you out of the plane.
Yep.
She's like, no, that's not a good idea. I don't like that plan. And he's like, well, you don't have a choice, because here goes. So he says this, and immediately, like, the guy who's supposed to be throwing her out of the plane, she just, punches him once and kicks him outside of the plane.
Yep.
Cut to dummy floating out of the side of this little plane.
Yeah, it's not right.
No,
but whatever.
Yeah,
and the pilot's like, "What are you doing? Stop!"
The pilot's like, "Well, you're not supposed to do that."
Yeah,
but he's also like, "Fuck, I gotta fly this plane."
Yeah. So she grabs a grenade.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Turn this plane around." He's like, "Nah," and she's like, "Oh yeah, well."
Yeah, he's like, "You don't have the stones." Yeah. She's like, "Oh yeah."
Pulls the pin. And he's like, "What? Why are you doing that?"
Yeah, it's a pretty great reaction because, like, she slipped on the parachute. Is like, all right, throws it down. And he's like, what? Where is it? Like,
yeah.
But I also like that the whole time Kane still has like the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, he's still
listening to all this, and he's like,
yeah,
yeah.
And the plane blows up, screen-filling explosion
with her grabbing the jade thing and jumping out.
Right, and she parachutes down.
And then apparently has never parachuted in her life.
She hits the one rock on this beach.
The thing is, like, if you're going to fuck up landing a parachute, it's not your head that usually is going to get hit, but you're going to break your fucking legs. But she apparently sticks the landing and then just goes, whoop, and, like, reverse Nosferatu's into the ground and, and just crack. And it's just out. Again, once again, Donna's just 100% out and just bam. She's just down.
But I want to talk about Kane.
Please do.
Because as the plane blows up, they cut to Kane sitting on his boat with his walkie-talkie. And there's like this split second where he's just kind of sitting there going, listening. Fuck! Cut scene.
Yes.
Like, it's It's the perfect bad timing.
It's a terrible take. There are way too many beats before he says it. Like, what are you waiting for?
Well, no, it's probably like action, and it was like, okay, beat, clear everything, and then he does this, fuck.
Yeah.
And then, like, instead of cutting it, trimming it like you would when you're editing a movie, it's just I don't know, stick it, whatever.
But also, it's not a well-delivered fuck either. It's comical. It's
not like all the other ones in the movie.
It's just,
Those are also comical.
But he's like, fuck! It's like, it's okay, good. You're a badass.
We all
scared of you, buddy.
We all got a nice laugh out of it.
Yeah.
Because it was so
sudden and violent.
Yeah. So now Donna's on this island.
Right.
Somehow they all know that she's on the island. Lucas also has a tracker because of Silk, the woman who's betraying Kane.
Yeah.
Right.
Kane's got a...
so he knows where Kane is at all times.
Yes.
And does nothing about it.
He shows it off like, isn't this cool? No. I know where Kane is. It's fun kind of fucking with him, but now he's messing with nukes, and that's not cool.
Yeah, he's finally up to a serious enough crime I can put him away forever. And I'm like, it sounds like he's probably done some shady shit, like had some people killed and stuff.
Yeah.
That
he
we
didn't
know
just start this murder.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't just suddenly hire henchmen. He's had them.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes. I believe we see, like, we don't really see who, but, like, Donna gets carted off by somebody while she's not...
By pirates.
Yeah. But, like, essentially, everyone knows she's now on this island, probably in control of this guy. What was it? Wasn't it Pico?
Yeah,
Pico.
Yeah, because I kept thinking Pico de Gallo, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, so we cut back at one point to Kane, and we see the assassins, and then we see the meeting with Kane. But it's these two goofball assassins that have been in, like, the last two, I think you said?
Yeah, the previous two, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But not as the same characters?
Well, they have code names for their...
Oh, okay, they have code names now.
And they're always some sort of wacky pairing of something. So.
Right. Well, these guys are back, and now they're arguing about... One of them has gone to a boat show and bought a hovercraft. Mm-hmm. And the other one's asking why you don't even know how to drive a car. And he's like, well, because it's going to impress clients. And he's like... All right, fine, but we got to go. We got to meet with Kane.
Right.
Now meet with Kane, and they introduce themselves as one's name is Wiley, and the other one's name is Coyote. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's their code names.
Yep. And Kane's like, are those your names? They're like, no, they're code names.
Yeah. He's like, uh-huh.
He's like,
great. All right, fine, whatever.
Right. But
he's like, I need you to take out Edie and Lucas.
Yeah.
Right.
They're bugging me. I don't know.
I don't much care for them.
Yeah. I mean, that is basically the motivation that he has for taking that. He's like, it's about time.
Yeah.
Seriously, she owns her own radio station and plays nothing but her songs. Fuck her and kill her, please.
I'm sick of it. I'm totally sick of it.
It also seriously justified.
She also owns a nightclub and is the only one that sings in that nightclub.
I mean,
she got to go.
That's like starting a magazine and putting yourself on the cover every month.
Yeah, I mean, who the fuck does that?
I don't know.
Kane would murder Oprah
horrible
Winfrey.
Person.
But yeah, so go ahead.
They're Wiley and Coyote. Their hovercraft is manufactured by Acme.
Yes.
And their gun is also theoretically manufactured by Acme because it has it spray painted along the barrel.
This is the perfect movie for Looney Tunes reference.
Jokes.
Yeah. And meanwhile, and the thing is, like, everyone's gone out. They're like, oh, we got to get to the island and save Donna and all that. Yeah. And Lucas and Edie are like, all right, let's ask this fisherman if he can loan us some beer.
Yeah. I don't know where the hell they are that this lone fisherman is hanging out there too.
Yeah, but who walks up to a total stranger's like, hey, can I bum a couple beers off you?
It's like, yeah, sure, hope so.
Yeah, sure. Well, why not?
I'm just sitting on this cooler. I ain't really mine.
Yeah.
This is street beer.
Free range beer.
It's just road beer. I just found it. I don't know.
Yeah. So, it's hot beer. Yeah.
So the hovercraft eventually gets there because it only moves at like 2 miles an hour, and they're not having much luck steering it. And so they're like, oh, there they are on the shore. Kill them. So as they start to try to shoot them, the hovercraft also starts going out of control and spinning around.
Yeah.
So,
well, mostly because the guy keeps turning the thing that makes it go in one direction.
Right. But so Lucas, his instinct, which is right, is to get up from the picnic table and kick it over and use it as a shield. Except that he kicks it so hard, it just tumbles out of the way, and then they're just sitting there behind nothing, shooting at this hovercraft.
Just laying on the ground, shooting at a hovercraft.
Yeah. And so they're shooting back and forth, and no one's hitting anything. The fisherman's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Takes off. Lucas asks if Evie has any explosives on her. And she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, here."
Yeah, I've got this special heel, or explosive hidden in my heel.
Right.
So she snaps off her heel and hands it to him.
Yeah, and so he runs over to where they stole beers from the fisherman, and
Borrowed.
Yeah, okay, and hooks up the heel to the fishing line and just kind of tosses it over into the hovercraft. And they're like,
well, one guy's like, "Oh shit!" I think he says like explosive
women's shoes.
Yeah, women's shoes.
And the other one's like, "I don't think that's what that is." Just look at, nah, you're crazy. And then one jumps out of the hovercraft, and the other one's just like makes a face like
the other pulls the visor down.
Oh right, yeah. Okay.
You know what the problem was? Their hovercraft was full of heels.
Fuck everything. Get out.
I also think it's so. The next scene is like them fly. The next scene is them flying through the air and landing in the water.
Yeah.
And I think it's another nod to Wile E. Coyote because they were that hovercraft fucking went up.
Oh sure.
Like it exploded, like screen filling explosion again.
Yeah.
And another nod to Looney Tunes. Wile E. Coyote never dies; he just gets blackened, and they come to shore and their clothes are all ripped, and the guy's helmet is on fire, and they start saying something to Edie and Lucas.
Well, and they're just taunting each other. They're just like, you idiot.
Yeah, but they get to the shore, and then Lucas does this awesome thing where, like, you kind of see the gun pointing up, like from like almost like a not quite over the shoulder shot, but like from the two of them, like they walk into the frame, and he like flips the gun forward.
Right.
I would describe it as someone from Downton Abbey delivering a gun. That's how dainty it is. It's just kind of like...
It's like, see, I have a gun and fire.
Sir, this was delivered for you. I don't have any clue how it works. And then it's just something like, I do, actually.
Yeah. So, whatever. Wacky, nonsense, Looney Tunes bullshit
in
this TNA action movie.
Inconsequential thing.
But the hovercraft was cool.
Meanwhile, the Pico has, been talking with Donna and discovered that Donna has amnesia. Because she got cracked on the head, doesn't know who she is.
It's not that she has amnesia. She's just not saying anything.
Yeah.
They're just asking her questions, and she's just staring at them, and so they're like, oh, she has amnesia. Right. It's like, well, okay, Dr. Pico, good job. You really cracked that case.
They were probably listening to Ava on the radio. It was like, you're my blonde friend who does not know her own name.
Yeah. And
one must help her regain her senses.
Never once does he even question the fact that she has amnesia. Not even that she could be faking it. He's proudly telling everyone, oh no, she doesn't remember anything. She has the amnesia. And this is my buddy Skip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is my second in command. Skip.
I am Pico.
Yes.
Lord of the Dark Underworld. Yeah. And this is my accomplice, Skip. It's just a bulky white dude, just like, hey man, Skip.
This is my second in command. He is an inker on comics. He's a Skip tracer.
Yeah. And Skip. Oh, God damn it. And Skip's just like, yeah, Pico's a little overdramatic. Yeah. It pays well, though.
Yeah, so
whatever.
I was hanging out.
Yep. But she just won't answer them, none of that. And,
nope.
And somebody runs in and is like, oh, there's somebody approaching. So they go outside, and they're like, oh, it's Cole.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was told by Kane there would be a man with a funny name who arrives. What is your name? Cole. He's like, that's funny enough. Yeah. Come in.
It's like Cole Waters or something like
Cole
that.
Waters.
Yeah. And they're like, well, that's kind of funny. Okay, come in. This chick has amnesia.
Yeah.
Take a look.
Yes. Look at the girl with amnesia.
They do. He just takes her over to her. She's like, see? She's not saying anything. She has amnesia.
But it's really just a point so that Cole can look over and see the jade thing sticking out of the bag. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And he tries to, he unties her, and he's like, okay, well, we're gonna do whatever. And she, as soon as she's untied, she grabs his gun and points at him. I'm like, oh, she was faking. But no. She takes the gun, disassembles it, and he's just kind of looking at it. Oh.
Yeah.
That's
pretty good.
That's kind of hot.
Yeah.
She doesn't use a gun. Yeah.
Then she reassembles.
And then she reassembles it, puts it back on him. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were just going to Rain Man that guy.
So she points at him and still hasn't said a word. Slowly backs out. And as soon as she gets out the doorway, Pico's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And just pops her in the forehead.
Yes.
And takes the gun.
Yeah.
So she's been knocked out again. She's been concussed again.
Knocked back into not amnesia. Because that's how it works.
Yeah. But so, and then he's like, "Something's up with you, Cole. I'm taking you hostage. Fuck you.
I'm taking you hostage."
We're all gonna wait until Kane gets here and figure out what the fuck's up.
Yep.
But
then everyone else shows up.
But Nicole and Bruce have made it to the island and they figured out where it is. And Nicole's just like she's got a fucking murder boner and a half. She is just ready.
Yep. It's like we need to go and fucking kill everybody.
Yeah. Bruce is like, let's survey, let's figure out what's going on. She's like,
no.
I'll tell you what's going on. We're gonna fucking gut these sons of bitches.
Donna needs our help.
They've got Donna. I'm gonna fucking make them drown in self-tanner. I'm gonna fucking murder them.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's fierce.
Yeah.
And they storm this place, and at one point she sneaks up. Well, she doesn't. She just walks up to the building, and a dude walks out and is like, I don't know, they're maybe 3 feet apart, and he doesn't see her, and she doesn't see him.
Yeah.
And he fires his gun, and then she's like, "Oh, a guy."
And then puts like 3 rounds in his chest.
Yeah.
Well, with her stupid submachine gun that's got a shotgun barrel on it, because like all of their guns just have these fucking wide.
All of their guns have to be fucking weird.
Just guns bolted onto other guns.
But yeah, so she puts 3 good holes in him, and he's down. And didn't the guy she was traveling with,
Bruce?
Yeah.
Didn't he like take a shot in the leg or something?
Well, he's still trying. Like he ends up shooting it. Well, what he does, what sets everything off, is they sneak in and they're doing like the Metal Gear Solid thing. He's like, "Oh, I got this guy," and he gets him and he stabs this dude in the chest. And then the dude is like, "Ah!" and shoots his gun off, and everybody's like, "Oh." So Skip starts shooting at him. Skip like drops his cane and is pulling the handgun on him.
Yeah.
So eventually,
unfortunately, Skip hides in the gasoline shed.
Yep. Skip goes in and we're like, "Oh, there's the gasoline barrel right next to old Skip." And Skip's like popping out of the tent taking shots, and then you see Bruce just go, "Huh, yeah." And then one shot, that thing goes up like a freaking
because
mushroom cloud.
The implication is Bruce has like a grenade launcher. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Sure,
it doesn't really
with a
operate.
tiny little pea shooter barrel.
It doesn't operate like that all the time, but whatever.
That's
only when it's plot relevant.
Sure,
does it work that
way?
Yeah. But so he's blown him up.
Yeah, but he gets kidnapped by Pico. Who?
Yeah. Well, what happens is the other guy, Cole's like, "All right, now's our chance."
Yeah.
And he runs off with Donna, and he's kind of like, it's weird because she kind of doesn't know what to do, but she just goes with him, and they run off, and then, Nicole is like, "Donna, come back! I fucking murdered all these guys for you."
Let's go back to splashing.
Yeah. We could splash again. But yeah, and then that's when Pico gets Bruce. He's got a knife to his throat.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you going to do, Nicole?"
Yeah. And Nicole's like, "This, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah. and thankfully, movie-wise, shoots him towards the back half of his body.
Yeah.
Away from the guy he's holding.
Yeah, turns his back into like ground chuck.
Right.
It's gross. But the other dude's like, "He had a knife at my neck. He was going to kill me."
She's just like, "I made a choice."
Yeah. It's what you do.
Made a choice to save Donna.
Yeah.
I don't really care about you.
Yeah.
Give a
You
fuck
don't
about
matter. Only Donna matters.
Must get Donna.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donna and Cole ride off on the jet ski thing and Wave Runner actually. But like they land on a beach and he's just like, "Don't you remember me?"
Yeah.
And she's like,
"Nah."
we were lovers, and she's like, "Oh, all right." And they start making out and have the night sex like everyone else, when there's nothing else to do. And then it's just like in the morning, wake up and
she turns on the radio.
She turns on the radio. Here's the now all of a sudden because Ava's psychic and has her doctorate and I don't know.
This is fucking stupid.
Fucking Chuck Norris sense and is like, "Hey, that guy you're with, don't trust him."
Well, she goes, "Blondie."
Yeah. Blondie.
Your friends. Yeah, and
she
knows things that she should not know.
Right.
Yeah, the person you're
the
with
whole
right
psychic
now.
thing is
that you had sex with just moments ago.
Yes.
He's bad news.
Yeah. That you've consummated your.
You're in danger, girl.
Yeah. He's not who he says he is.
Yeah. So he comes back like, "Hey, what's going on?" And she's like,
"I remember who I am."
"Yeah," and I.
Oh, she also finds the bag with her ID in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also
she's like,
the
secret. It says like Donna Hitman or whatever her last name is.
Yeah.
Secret agent.
right. It's like, oh well.
Oh, that's who I am.
Good thing I have that.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's I don't remember how it gets to the end, but basically she just stabs him with a machete.
Oh yeah, she straight up. She's like, "I know who I am,
Yeah.
and I know that we weren't
lovers."
Yeah. And
Stab.
I faked that orgasm.
Yeah.
Like
the orgasm.
the one.
Like that matters in this universe.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
sorry.
Like, he's got him
anything about this
ran him
universe.
through with a goddamn machete.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter what you say at this point. He's still not listening because he's
You
fucking dead.
Jason Voorhees, that guy.
Yeah, that guy fucking got Jason.
You don't need to give him a Freddy Krueger one-liner.
You gave him a
Jesus.
traditional boning at Crystal Lake. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. You can't be both sides. You can't
Yeah.
bone him, then
gotta
machete
pick
him. But yeah, like Nicole and what's his nuts have also boned like in the ocean.
Oh yeah, because
Overnight.
they're like, well, when's rescue coming? I don't know.
They're basically there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, there's nothing
Well,
else to do
I guess.
except
Near the shore in the ocean, the
Yeah.
only thing worse than a sandy vagina is a sandy vagina with salt water.
salty vagina is
yeah,
worse.
boy, and she just looks like she's angry. Like she is not into this at all.
Yeah.
And if I recall correctly, she was the one on the motorcycle. One
Yep.
of the other ones, and she wasn't into that either.
She is.
They're just putting her in awkward sex situations, and she just has to deal with it. But yeah, so everyone bones because there's nothing else to do.
No.
Don't make a bunch of extra weapons or
No.
plan anything.
No.
Bone.
And I think Edie and Lucas, did they bone again?
I believe they did.
I think they did.
yeah, they were just like
That's a
Well,
boning.
they actually
We're
got
also saying boning a lot.
They got the notice that that Kane was on the move after, like, post boning.
That's
Yeah.
right, postcoital.
Yeah.
Yeah, poning.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's postponing.
Oh,
And I like whenever they
No?
go back to the random bits at the radio station because, like, Shane Abilene will just be standing there in a cowboy hat and a Speedo drinking a cup of coffee while the
Becky.
assistant is fucking naked just standing there. They're both just standing there listening to everything that's
or
going on.
they'll hang out in the hot tub in the
tub.
background.
Yeah.
They're-
And sometimes sometimes Eva's got like see-through.
She might as well be wearing tape, like just
Yeah,
scotch tape. Just
There's one shot composition where she's just on the mic, leaned over, just hill country is everywhere, and in the background is Abilene in the fucking purple banana hammock, and half clothed girl like with champagne flutes, and it's just like it's like the weirdest fucking upstaging.
Man.
I mean, it's like upstaging, downstaging at the same time because
I got to tell you,
it's fucking crazy.
that sounds like the best fucking workplace ever.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I would never leave. I don't blame Shane. I would never leave work.
I would kill all three of you to work there.
I would not leave work ever. I'd be like, I live here.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay me anymore.
I should stay here and run
Like-
a radio station.
Yeah. I can totally sleep in the hot tub.
Yeah.
the hot tub.
Hot tub.
tub.
Yeah.
But
just give me a cowboy hat and a banana hammock and golden.
Yeah. There's a scene at one point before the ending where like Kane has met with Raven again, or
Al Leong.
Yeah, and it's just like I need Raven to
Yeah, you're the best.
take Raven to the this place and do the killing. And it's so weird because his name is Raven, but he's talking about the helicopter Raven, and so they're just like they rope up the helicopter and put it on a truck and drive it to Hawaii. I guess I don't know.
Can't fly it there.
Yeah, but basically, so this is the return of Helicopter Raven at the end.
Yeah, because they all meet up on the beach and like, sweet,
Yeah,
glad you're back, Donna.
right. And then
Now what?
Here's weird metallic sounding helicopter in a
Yep.
tunnel thing coming at them.
No. And Shane gets shot in the leg on the beach because they just have no choice but to retreat into the bushes. Mm-hmm. And eventually they just get to this clearing, and Al Leong has already landed it there and is like, all right, put down your weapons.
not only that, he's like, throw your guns into a pile.
In a pile.
Yeah.
Yes. Throw all your weapons into
There's
a
a
pile.
reason for that, though.
Yeah. Oh, it does eventually pay off, but yeah.
Well,
But yeah, the first thing he says is throw your guns into a pile.
because
pile.
he's got an Atari 2600 controller that has a laser dot on Donna's chest, and he's like, this Raven.
if I take my finger off this button.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
thing's
the
all
guns are
remote.
on
It's all
auto.
it's all remote control.
Yeah.
If I take my finger off this button, you're dead.
Yeah.
So, like they nicely piled all of their weapons into a little pile, and he's just like, angled down a little bit with his joystick and fires a missile at their pile of weapons.
Yep.
8 feet away.
Yep.
Angles this missile into the
Between-
pile of weapons.
Yeah. These people are like 20 feet apart.
Yeah.
The guns in the middle.
Blows up the pile of weapons.
And they're like, Wow.
Well, don't they just kind of immediately go like, "Oh shit," and scatter? Because like he gets back in the helicopter thing or the gyrocopter thing, and it's like,
well, she also has to give him. She gives him the jade thing, and they're like,
"Oh, that's right,"
because she doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
But she tosses it to him,
That's right.
and
he's like, "What's just some
she's
dumb
like,
trinket?"
Piece of junk, and he says, "Yep."
He smashes
it.
It's kind of great that like the henchman gets the job the villain always gets of the like, haha, this valuable thing. Look,
I have it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like, all right, word up.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then gets in the plane, takes off, and Don's like, yeah, what was that thing? And Nicole's like, that was a fucking nuke.
Yeah.
Like you.
Yeah. Good job. And she's like, "Oh,
that's what it was." He takes off, and they're like, "Why did he let us live?" And all of a sudden, he does the circle around. And
well, because he radios Kane, and he's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do now?" And Kane's like, "Circle back and kill him."
I was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, okay, cool.
But Al Young's like, I get to fly my fucking Raven.
I mean, if they hadn't set this up for like 5 straight minutes of when what's his name? Not Lucas, the other guy, Bruce. Bruce drops this his little grenade launcher gun, whatever it is, and they keep like showing you shots of it. But when Al Young first circles around, it looks like he's taking an aim at all 3 of them, and Donna's just like, "Fuck this shit," and runs.
Yeah, she just
like, immediately we're like, "Oh, I know what she's doing," because
Yeah.
she's obviously running to the one gun that she knows is left behind.
Right.
But it just, if they hadn't like hammered that home so much, it just looks like she's like,
The first shot's just like,
fuck you
this."
guys. Yeah. But yeah, she runs to the beach, grabs that thing, and misses a few times, but eventually just gets the perfect shot with the grenade launcher gun thing. And
You get a good zoom on Al Young's face where you're, another full screen explosion of that thing blowing up.
And meanwhile, Kane is offshore on his boat,
Yeah.
looking at binocs, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
And he looks at Donna, and then I love this part because he's looking at Donna through the binoculars, and he's like, I gotta fucking kill her for real. Like, I'm sick of her. And his like first mate or whatever is like, Coast Guard or whoever is right over there, and they're coming. We need to leave.
Yeah, we totes need to go. These guys are right there.
And he's like, but I really want to kill her.
Well, he realizes, my trigger, it's gone. Now I must kill them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
but she has the like, oh, that's him. I need to kill him, and gets the click, click. I've now just used all of the magical grenade things.
So they turn to leave, and Kane's like, "Next time, Donna." And then somehow she hears him enough to say, "Yeah, next time, Kane."
No, it's just symmetry. They're both thinking
like poetry,
next time.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. It's dumb. So like, okay, so the Coast Guard, whatever, they're right there chasing Kane off, and then the next scene is just the 3 of them on the beach, like they're stranded or some shit, drinking out of coconuts.
They're saved. They know everything's okay, so they're going to relax a little bit.
And they're like, "Well, we blew up the trigger thing, but Kane got away. Oh well, next time. Cheers, mate."
This is how you celebrate. You sit down, you have a couple of Gilligans, and you have a good time, man.
And they turn up the radio so they can listen to the Edie song again.
Man, that's the hot jam.
Okay, the end.
It was stuck in my head for like a good 5 minutes after the movie.
Yeah.
And now it's completely gone.
I don't remember how it goes, but
Something about waking up at the crack of noon.
Yeah,
Right.
it's generic as fuck, but for 5 minutes it was in my head.
it was kind of catchy.
Yep.
But the movie's over.
Yep.
It's dumb. It's a dumb movie.
Yeah.
It's a
But now we rate them because that's what we do. No ancillary awards because goddamn the music's terrible and nobody really freaks out or anything like that. So.
Nope.
No.
It is what we've come to expect from all these, which is pretty much a solid 2 jocks because there's a lot of very good-looking boobs. There's a lot of stuff that'll get blown up, a lot of guns that are shot. None of it makes sense. It's just, they're all chasing that dragon of Hard Ticket to Hawaii. Because A Hard Ticket to Hawaii is just like the craziness, but also like the fun stuff. Like it just, everything clicks in that. And it's kind of like, you can tell they keep trying to replicate it in certain ways, but they just like they don't have a cancer snake on the loose. There's not that one crazy thing that just puts everything over the top.
Yeah.
Or like a razor frisbee or any of that stuff.
Right.
It's just
it doesn't have that gimmicky stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like they ran out of gimmicks and they're like, well, we got this like helicopter thing, so let's rely on that maybe. I don't know. But
the helicopter was the gimmick of this one. It was,
but it's still like these are fun. Like they're never not fun. But it's only like 2 jocks worth of fun. It's there are plenty of better options out there.
All of these are like the most amazing movies if you were 12.
Oh yeah,
Like this is the best movie you've ever seen if you're 12.
yeah.
Yeah, if I had seen this at 12, I'd be a different man than I am today. But I didn't. So I had to wait until now.
I'm thinking about how I would have reacted when I was 12 and changing myself as a person because of these.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm becoming
you
a contract
didn't
killer.
have a rating to go along with that? That was just your...
Oh, no, I wasn't sure if Mackie was done.
Oh,
with
I'm
his
done.
rating. Okay.
Yeah, I there's not really much to say, honestly. It's like we've reviewed so many Sedaris films that's kind of like, yep, this is another one.
Yeah, it is. It's a 2, maybe 3 on a better day, but definitely a 2 Jocks Sedaris movie. That's, I mean, we should really just give them like 1 to 5 Sedarises, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to complicate our ratings anymore, but, you know, it's
They are comparable to each other because they are
Yeah.
the same thing
Yeah.
over and
well,
over
well,
again.
it almost is like Sedaris needs its own rating because it's like, in a vacuum, we'd be like, man, this is fucking great. You know, like, but you can't help but compare it to
Hard tickets.
stuff that works better.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
Yep. I kind of like. I feel like because it's been over 18 months since we've seen one of these.
Thanks,
kind
1990.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a rebirth of this kind of thing. Like we were watching them fairly regularly, and they were all kind of not. I mean, none of them were ever as good as Hard Ticket to Hawaii, but it seemed like they were constantly chasing that and were disappointing on that front over and over and over again. And they would take weird diversions. Like there was the one where like no one even got naked for like 30-35 minutes, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, Sedaris? Like,
Yeah.
there's a formula here. What do you do? And there's one where like they went to Europe and it was all about jewelry smuggling, and it was boring as fuck. I don't know. This one, as nonsensical as it is and how not plot heavy it is, I really I had a good time. It's a breeze. I mean, it's just like there's nothing in this that really drags. It's not like, wasn't there one where they went like undercover and they were like magicians in Vegas or some shit, and it was
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Guns, I believe, was that one.
Okay, you know, it doesn't mess around with like, you don't have to worry about Pat Morita and Eric Estrada sucking the wind out of the movie because you can tell they kind of don't want to be there. So I'm gonna give it 3 Jocks. I found it enjoyable. It is not Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, they are committed to their dumb helicopter and their dumb tiny hovercraft, and they blow stuff up, and you know, there's bodacious boobs all over the place in this thing, and they're not gross. I mean, it's not like, oh god, those are the worst boobs I've ever seen. 90s boob job grossness.
Yeah.
You know. There's that one slow motion shot of Nicole in particular where it's just like, yes, ma'am. You have been blessed. So,
It probably hurts to run.
yes, I apologize now for your back problems, but at the time, you probably earned a nice paycheck for that.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm on the same page with you, and I'm going to chalk this solely up to just hitting on the time that it did. I think in most other times I probably wouldn't rate this as high, but I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 Jocks as well. I don't know why, but like something about the sex scenes in this movie in particular, I was giggling the entire time, and not like in the 12-year-old me sense. I mean, there's something about the way they were filmed, because as soon as you had like someone like Eric Estrada or Pat Morita involved, where it was like, well, I would be in this, but like, you know, I better be touching some boobs and stuff, and it kind of felt gross. Like all of these people were like on the same star level,
Yeah.
So like, and still like on the same star level as far as talent too, because every move they were doing just felt like you could just insert Zerbert raspberry noise at any given point in time, and it would seem perfectly acceptable, because you know, there's never like, you know, no underwear on the lower half is being removed, so they just got to do dumb Skinemax kissy parts and things like that. And so it's just, there's multiple shots of that throughout the movie that in just my head I'm just imagining like a good like every time they make mouth to skin contact.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, it was just amusing me to no end for some reason in this one in particular. But yeah,
There's a lot of like, oh, look, a shin. I'm going to kiss your shin now. It's
Yeah.
like, why?
Yep. But tastes like shin.
you make a good point, because like they never dwell on like these people's stupid other cover jobs or whatever, except for Ava and the weird ass radio station,
Which is the best.
I will admit that helps this movie a
Sure.
lot, because it's so ridiculous and it's so pervasive throughout the movie.
right. I mean, if
Well,
they
that's her real cover job and her real spy job at the same time.
but like other than like, you know, Edie's repeated songs on the radio. Like we only have to suffer through her performing at the club one time in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay because she's wearing, you know, skin tight pants or whatever. And it's like, you know, it's just like none of it feels like some of those scenes in the other ones were like, yeah, like you said, the magician, or like I want to say there was a band in one or something like that. And it's like,
same one.
Just cut this shit out. I don't care. I don't want to see them performing shittily at their pretend jobs.
Yes.
And this one was just like, forget all that. They're spies. Let's see that spy shit.
They're nude and they run a radio station. Let's watch.
Right. So yeah, Three Dogs.
Okay,
You can do better in the Sedaris Oval, but you know, I like this one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sedera-verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep it simple, Sedaris.
yeah, it feels. I think the hardest part is we keep comparing it to Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which is flat out like one of the top 5 movies we've ever seen for this show.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, you know, it's like comparing everything to Robot Jocks, so to speak, where it's like, no, this movie's fucking awesome. And
the problem is that you want him to at least try. Even if he fails, you want to see that level of craziness at least be attempted. And so far, they haven't come up with that B story, that fucking cancer snake. The cancer snake was not the A story of that movie.
No.
It was just this thing that showed up at the end. You're like, oh, shit, it exploded out of a toilet. What the hell?
Yeah.
These movies don't have that. They're just like, got to get the thing. Maybe we'll have some sex in between. They're basically like, when they're writing, they're just like, don't make it complicated.
Unfortunately.
Tiny helicopter boobs. That's all we need. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Tiny helicopter boobs.
Tiny helicopter boobs.
All right, let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
A tiny break.
We do more helicopter boob things.
Huge boob break.
Did you say a boo break?
Yeah. Boob break. Buzzy Kerbox.
Hey, you watch the damn mouse.
Buzzy Kerbox. Buzzy.
Don't talk about Kerbox like stupid gringo in your dirty mouth.
Buzzy.
There's my butt.
You watching Chomps?
Yeah.
Chomps.
Sea humps.
We're over there now.
Watch Homps. Homps.
Well,
I didn't know if you would
Baps.
switch over to gonna be my ass.
Nah,
Nah.
we wouldn't. So you're only going to talk about 2? You're not going to bring up the third one?
Short. 2.
Okay.
Maybe I'll talk about the third one next week.
You can do that. I got zilch. I ain't got nada. Though for some reason, like, Jen is all about seeing Hardcore Henry this weekend, which is weird to me.
I kind of like the idea of it, but I also am kind of turned off on it.
I think it's going to be fatiguing
Yeah.
to watch that for 90 minutes.
Yeah. And I'm also I think the advertising for it is not doing it justice for me, and because all the ads are just basically 30 seconds of this is the most amazing fucking thing you'll ever see. I'm like, slow your roll. Hold on.
Yeah.
You want to do something innovative, that's fine. I'll take a look at it, but stop yelling at me.
And the thing is, Midnight Special comes out this weekend too.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, how do I steer her towards that? But I've learned not to borrow with that because I usually get my way. And it's like when Captain America comes out, I'm going to be like, we're seeing this movie, so I got to pick my battles.
That's fair enough.
But I'm afraid I might get sick, honestly, because it's basically GoPro footage, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which it looks a little bit fisheye also, so it's got to be GoPro for 90 straight minutes of that. I don't know, man.
Like if people were having a problem with Cloverfield, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I survived Blair Witch, which, you know.
That was film, though.
No, it was film and
that's true. Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
And people just shaking shit all over the place, so who knows.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But I guess I'm going to end up seeing that unless something goes crazy this weekend. Which it's want to do with my life.
Yeah.
But I got my new speakers up.
I saw that. I saw them pictures.
Yeah, putting holes in walls and then running out the floorboards and making me glad I had bought flat wire.
Mm-hmm.
Because, coming out the floorboards is not fun.
Nope.
Yeah. And now I need to get a better subwoofer. Because I have a passive subwoofer going right now and I don't have a powered one. And
you couldn't plug in a powered one.
I could. It's actually weird. We switched out. We had halogen bulbs and we switched them for LED, and we've only had it happen once since I did that. I still think it's something else, but I don't know. Houses are weird,
aren't they?
But my wife is like, we need to get that rewired. We need to get this fixed, and I'm like, it's fucking $1,000. We don't need to do that just yet.
Yeah,
thanks.
No, let's
because when the electrician's got to add to the panel and. You can't just like patch off of the one. You can't be like, all right, take these and put them here and those put there. It's like, no, you have to run an entirely new fucking thing through the walls, which...
I mean, how did anyone survive in that house before? How many previous owners did it have?
Three,
I
think. But I don't know how many renters. I know it was a renter when we moved in. But the owners had bought it in like 2008, 2009. Mm-hmm. So they must have got it right after things crashed, and they probably got it pretty cheap.
Yep.
Yeah, it was built in 97, I think. And I think there were 2 owners before.
That's not bad.
That one. So I don't know. Yeah.
Hey!
What are they doing?
Get back in here!
What are they doing?
Quit fucking around!
Yeah, it's not like you have to go outside to smoke anymore. Jesus.
You can vape in here. I know, I heard the cat, and I was like, well, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah,
we don't want to make it like Snoop Dogg in here.
Quit fucking wit the cat.
Like, it's not Snoop Dogg in my face when we're watching a movie. All that shit blows directly at me. Oh, yeah, Wookiee dick all day.
I'll have to remember that.
And no, I don't have ghosts. I have arc fault circuits.
What?
Right.
Instead of ground fault circuits. Which are like asshole circuits that trip at the drop of a hat.
I've got an asshole circuit.
Nah.
It's faulty.
Asphalt circuit. Am I right?
Yes, you are right.
Yeah, but the electrician's advice was check all the wiring on everything that's plugged in. And I was like, that's half the house, asshole.
Yeah, fuck you, guy who knows about this stuff.
And then he's like, well, you can just put an old one in. But
old one what?
Like an old ground fault circuit.
Oh.
I can replace it because it's actually, once the circuit's off, it's safe to touch. Just don't touch anything else in the panel or you might die.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's the tough part. That whole dying thing.
Yeah.
I don't like messing with electricity. Electricity and water. Bad things to mess with inside the house.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially together.
Yeah, especially those together.
Yeah.
I learned that from The Sims.
Good.
Don't repair the shitty, cheap lights that you bought while standing in a pile of water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good idea.
All right.
Unless you want to see your skeleton.
So you guys ready for... Yeah.
So, am I the only one with stuff?
He's got one thing.
Yeah, I got one thing.
Okay.
Did you know...
How new is your thing?
Huh?
How new is your thing?
Is this
we talked about it
right before the show started.
Documentary about...
Oh, right. Sorry.
Jeez, Chuck, listen to people for once.
Hey, what?
Did you know that everybody has enough bones inside their body to make an entire skeleton?
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Neat.
Yeah. A little bit of trivia for you.
What the fuck? Facts at twitter.com.
Yeah, remember what I told you. Every day is Halloween if you imagine that everyone's got a skeleton inside of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Huh. I try to imagine taking everyone's skeleton out.
Okay. Good luck.
Hanging it in my closet.
Or if you want more interesting, weird facts, Merle Haggard died today. And
that's not interesting. That's fucking sad.
And he was supposed to be on the plane with Buddy Holly. And he gave up his seat to the Big Bopper because he had a flu at the time and couldn't ride in the bus for that long. Mm-hmm. So his time finally came around. Just saying, it's interesting.
You're saying the Final Destination monster finally caught up to him?
Pretty much, yeah.
55 years later.
Yes. He's Merle fucking Haggard. Come on, dude. It's like...
So he lived a nice, full, long life, and then finally the Final Destination showed up?
Just like, all right, because you're you, I'm going to give you some time.
Make some records.
Just saying, it's an interesting...
Write that Rainbow Stew song.
Did you know that if you took all of your arteries and veins and laid them end to end, you would die?
I've heard that.
Thanks.
All right, let's do this.
All right, and welcome back.
Hey!
BMFcast, second half.
Second half time.
Half number 2.
Cool.
Woo.
Harlow, you've got a thing that's pretty recent.
I'd say so.
Okay, let's hear about it.
So as probably many people to Disney's delight, I picked up the Star Wars Force Awakens Blu-ray yesterday.
Woo. I'm glad Disney will stay in business thanks to your purchase.
Yeah, it's probably all me. I probably did that.
Yep.
Keep the mouse afloat.
Uh-huh.
I haven't taken the time to watch the movie yet, but I wanted to dive into the feature-length documentary. It has a name. I don't care. Whatever. It's the feature-length documentary on Force Awakens.
Okay.
I'm sure it has a name. It's probably like Inside the Force Awakens or something like that.
Good one.
So, as far as film documentaries go, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's great. Like it skirts dangerously close, I think, to just one of those like, man, let's just hype the movie you've already bought.
One of those fawning.
Yeah, and
everything's
it
great
skirts on that, and then like gets away at times because it actually has some interesting information in it. Like I think the most interesting documentaries of the Star Wars universe is the one that's on episode 1. The feature-length documentary that's on episode 1 shows you, unbeknownst to them, why everything in that movie is as shitty as it is.
Right. Yep.
Because the entire movie is just like George Lucas walking in going, I had a thought last night that kids would find this monster named Jar Jar really funny. And then there's Rick McCallum going, oh yeah, George, that's great. Let's everybody get on that. Jar Jar, that's great. The kids will love it. And it's just like, you just watch that documentary and you're like, motherfucker. I know
that made me hate Rick McCallum.
Sure.
More than most people on
I'm just saying, it made the documentary fucking fascinating because it's like, wow, I've never watched people so clueless with this much money just having a yes man fuck everything up. It's just pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Now, that's that. But like this one's interesting because like there are facts in it that I'm not going to say like Force Awakens is bad. I like Force Awakens a lot, but there are things about it that I think aren't perfect, and like this kind of brings to light why they were kind of dumb in the movie. Chiefly, I mean, because I think it's a character we all wanted to be cool, and it ends up doing nothing in the fucking movie, is Captain Phasma.
Right.
It looks cool as shit. It's Gwendolyn Christie from Game of Thrones. It's like, it's a giant badass female in the Empire that's in charge of shit, and then she ends up like doing nothing in the movie. And so like everyone's
getting taken hostage.
And everyone's like, well, what the hell? You like built this character up and then it does nothing. Well, turns out she wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. Like that wasn't supposed to be a character. That armor, that concept was a concept art original drawing for Kylo Ren, and the shiny all metal armor. And like Kathleen Kennedy basically said it like, that's fucking awesome. I want that in the movie. And so they basically created a character with that armor. And so it was like after the screenplay is already written, so they were just like,
what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? Put this in. And really like the whole crux of it is like, I don't know, we'll put this character in. J.J. Abrams was like, shiny metal. This reminds me of Phantasm. And so reminds me of the ball from Phantasm, thus Captain Phasma. And so like this whole like revelation is in this documentary, and it's like, yeah, okay, that totally explains why that character is paper thin and looks cool and does nothing in the movie.
Right.
So it's just like, it's literally like, this will sell toys and posters and it looks cool and it has no point in the movie.
It's okay to put something cool, like, okay, that looks fucking cool. That looks like it'd be a really badass thing in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. Let's do that.
I mean, hell, that every scene in Empire was basically that.
Right.
It's like, look at the shot of this guy.
Yeah.
Whoa, IG-88.
Like
what the hell is that?
The bounty hunter
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, the whole bounty hunter scene is just like boss.
The king
and
of
all
that
shit is just like,
none of them do anything.
Yeah, no, they just stand there and fold their arms and.
Yeah. But I was just there's things like that in it, and like it is interesting to watch them. The stages of these sets that they, these giant practical sets that they made. Yeah, there are giant stages that are basically all blue screen, green screen like the prequels, but it's like they go out of their way to do as much practical stuff as possibly feasible. I think in the time frame that they had to make the movie. So I wouldn't say it's like the best documentary. It's nowhere near as revealing as episode 1's was, but I think that's because it didn't have any like explaining to do per se. It was just like I would like to see some additional stuff about this, and it turns out like there's some cool stuff where they show like how they created BB-8 and actually made the 3 different versions of it work in various. Like there's a version where somebody was just literally running behind him in all green suit. Like there's like
rolling it?
Yeah, just rolling it. Like I mean, it looks like a weed whacker. The guy's just like pushing it in front of him and like running on the sand, because they had ones that they could remote control, but like not in crazy terrain like that. So they just had to have somebody running through the desert.
Okay,
pushing this BB-8. So.
Great.
I don't know. It's just there's some fascinating things. It's like that I like, but it does occasionally dip into the Star Wars is so awesome. Isn't it just awesome working on Star Wars? And they have a point. I mean, it treats that with a reverence, and it's like you watch the cast members realize what they're making and how it's kind of pretty much going to follow them around for the rest of their life, kind of thing. That realization sinking in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say probably the only knock against it is that it's basically a promotional documentary. There's no perspective in it.
Sure.
It's only been 4 months, and
right.
They sure weren't getting reactions to it.
Yeah.
So.
But like I said, it's worth watching, especially if you picked it up like most people have. So.
Yeah. So I watched a couple of movies.
You did.
Recent movies. I believe both have already been talked about. One I know has, which is The Big Short. I agree with everything that's been said about that on the show. It's fantastic. I never want to see it again. The one thing I'll say about it, which hasn't really been said, is that I think it was kind of refreshing for me to see Adam McKay do a movie that isn't just a bunch of let's play with dialogue and we'll just use the best line reads. Mm-hmm. Kind of, it was like an actually tightly scripted story.
Yes,
and so you kind of worry about certain filmmakers getting caught in this rut of that's all they can do. So it was nice to see that this had a script based on a book, had a story to tell, had to get from point A to point B without being jokey, but still had some humor in it. I just everything about you were surprised at how heartbreaking that movie is at the end. Mm-hmm. For a movie about fucking math wizards and bullshit numbers and all that, how completely heartbreaking that movie is. Just gut wrenching. Mm-hmm. And that's good filmmaking. The fact that you can take this topic, which is a bunch of bullshit, but then make it so compelling that it kind of wrecks you at the end. That's a well told story.
Yeah.
So speaking of well told stories, I don't know why I was not excited when The Hateful Eight came out.
Okay.
I think I was kind of looking at that thinking this is probably the one that loses it with me for whatever reason, just looking at it thinking this is probably going to be the Tarantino movie I really don't like. I don't know why. I like everybody in it, but kind of hearing that it was not much more than a stage play, it was just a lot of dialogue and not a lot of events happen in the movie, I kind of just shied off of it and was just that's probably not going to be as good as I would hope. Mm-hmm. I'm wrong. That movie is great. It's not Pulp Fiction great. It's not Reservoir Dogs great. It's not up there with a lot of the stuff that he has done. But give me a better than average Tarantino movie over 99% of anything else.
It's kind of like the Sedaris problem.
Yeah, I mean he's working within his own confines and his own universe, but it just. The fact that pretty much nothing happens in this movie and it's still compelling as fuck is amazing to me. Mm-hmm. And that's a testament to the writing of this and the performances of every single person in this movie. Everybody in this movie is amazing. I just want to give awards to everybody in this movie, and I feel the same way about Big Short too. I think everybody in that movie needs recognition of some kind, but the cast in this is so good at selling everything about it. There's a ridiculous amount of practical effects that are almost over the top in a borderline Evil Dead kind of way. Mm-hmm. But when they're happening, you're just Jesus, okay, I guess that would happen. But my God, I haven't seen something like this in a movie in quite some time. Just buckets of blood being just dumped onto someone for some reason, a practical reason, basically. Yeah. It's not unbelievable.
Soak 'em.
And just a minor thing that I loved about this movie was that they would film it on a soundstage that they kept super cold. So there was no digital breath bullshit and stuff like that. When people are supposed to be cold, they're cold. It's because the set was 30 degrees. So when they're drinking a hot cup of coffee, I mean, it is just the steam and everything, and it was filmed in a very realistic way, and I really appreciate the practicality of this film.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't even we just rented a pile of movies from Redbox, and Big Short was the first one we watched. That's how not interested in The Hateful Eight I was is that I had this. I waited till it came out on Blu-ray, and then it wasn't even my first choice when I had a stack of movies to choose from. And it's fantastic. I really loved it.
Glad to hear. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
It's strong.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, keep in mind, it's not Pulp Fiction. And I know for me, I mean, it's not Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
But, the cast is so good. Cast is so good! And it's good to see Tim Roth doing stuff again.
Yeah.
So, and Michael Madsen in a real movie.
Oh, he's back in a real movie again?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah. It's good to hear.
And it's not embarrassing. It's like, okay, yeah, Michael Madsen. Where's he been?
He narrates stuff on History Channel.
Of course he does.
People that live off the grid. Michael Madsen narrates about him. So there you go.
Yep.
I'm sure it pays the bills.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Or comes close to it.
Pays a bill.
Yeah.
Pays his phone bill.
Yeah. Sure. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to hear some emails? Maybe some voicemails?
I would like to hear
Some
a
mail
mix
mails?
of both. We got snail mail?
No.
Oh.
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
I'm an asshole, I know.
Mhm.
Anyway, first up, Scott from Dallas.
Hi, Scott.
Who titled this
From
is
Dallas.
Pano naming ingin ang Grimen Pangasaya. Of course, Batman and Robin. Hola, ¿cómo estás, BMFcast?
Wait, so hold up. What happened? What just happened?
He
Did
wrote
you have
in
a stroke?
he
Stroke
wrote
there or
in
something?
in a different language.
Oh.
Oh, all right. Well, neat.
All will be revealed.
Okay.
All right.
It says, Hola, ¿cómo estás, BMFcast? Scott from Dallas here. Last night I saw a movie called Alias, Batman and Robin, which was a weird Filipino Batman movie modeled after Adam West's Batman and released as attempted competition against Keaton's first Batman movie. It's an incredibly goofy fan film about some criminals in a Filipino town who decide to dress up as Batman villains and run around committing crime. As a response, two brothers, played by real-life father and son, dress up as Batman and Robin to stop them. This movie is goofy and actually has some pretty good intentional laughs. I'm not going to recommend you see this movie for the podcast, but that's only because I know y'all don't want to start getting into all the weird foreign copyright issue movies, and I've already recommended Turkish Star Wars. I'd suggest trying to track down a copy of this for your own viewing pleasure. Batman is a goof. The Joker is a maniac. There's Beach Boys sounding like musical numbers. Batman becomes sovereign of the damned for one scene. There's a scene where Batman asks a woman to take off her glasses and then remarks, "You're even more beautiful when your eyes are nude." Random words, lines, and entire conversations suddenly in English. It's a hell of a movie. Before I sign out, here are some titles of other Filipino movies that didn't care about copyright. James Bond Batman. Johnny Joker. Starzan. Goosebuster. Romeo loves Juliet, but their families hate each other. Crash and Burn, Scott from Dallas.
Goosebusters, something I can get behind.
I would totally watch
Geese are
Starzan.
Fuck geese. I want anyone who would
Metaphorically.
bust. No, just kill them. Fuck them to death.
Just kill him. Wait, there's a difference
No.
there.
Geese are assholes.
Okay.
I've figured out why Canadian geese are around here all the time. It's because
They're assholes.
Because people in Canada are really nice, and Canadian geese are fucking assholes.
Yep. They got
They've been
kicked
kicked
out.
out of
Kicked
Canada.
out, yeah.
Canada.
They were asked. They weren't kicked out. They were politely asked to leave.
Hey, could you go down north
We're-
there to the Florida?
Go down north.
We're sorry, but could you
to
could
them
you get out
up
of
is down,
here?
like-
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Hate to be rude there, but could you get out? You're causing a
All right.
ruckus.
Yes, a ruckus. Next one up, Steve like the bird said, "You've got red on you." BMFcast. Steve like the bird here. Long time without squawking or even suchin'. I've been reading the past 2 months, writing this giant ass dissertation on film preservation for English, and I handed it in yesterday. So once again, I have time to do anything really. By the way, if you want frequent nihilism-based panic attacks, dedicate a few weeks into researching film preservation because we're basically fucked. 2 bags. Would not recommend. Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, watch your mouth, young man.
Anyway, I want to talk about Edgar Wright movies because they're, for the most part, the only movies I've been able to sneak in the past few weeks. Turns out I like Edgar Wright a lot. Like, any of these movies could become some of my favorite movies. I rewatched Shaun of the Dead while writing that goddamn paper just to survive the slog. So, the Cornetto trilogy. What these movies get so right is dedication to character. Every gag is just so true to the characters, and all these characters are super endearing. Every single one of Simon Pegg's and Nick Frost's characters are losers, but they're very different kinds of losers. Sean is very different from Angel, who is extremely different from Gary King. Also, these movies have real heart. The platonic romance between Pegg and Frost in Hot Fuzz is heartwarming, and Shaun of the Dead gets really sad. Spoilers! Sean's reactions to the death of his stepfather and his mother brought me to fucking tears both times. Simon Pegg can fucking act. Also, The World's End really went there at the end. Not just the last 10 minutes because holy shit, but also the reveal of Gary King's motivation to recreate the crawl is sad and heartfelt, and holy shit, Cornetto Trilogy is amazing. I can't argue that. Now, Scott Pilgrim. I think Scott Pilgrim will grow on me more with more viewings, and I did like it, but it's flawed. Now, I never read the comic, but something tells me it's a bad idea to take 6 graphic novels and cram it into a 2-hour movie. Characters aren't as developed as I would like them to be after watching the Cornetto movies. Also, fuck the Manic Pixie Dream Girl thing. I'm so tired of it. Also, this movie has like every young actress I'm in love with. Brie Larson, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Aubrey Plaza, Allison Pill, Anna Kendrick. Chris Evans and Brendan Ruth are fantastic. Jason Schwartzman is always good to see. What I'm trying to say is the cast is awesome. Now Michael Cera. I don't hate Michael Cera. Some people do. I'm not one of those people. That being said, there's something unlikable about Michael Cera, which is a problem because every character in this movie is an asshole, including our hero. It's a movie full of pretty unlikable people, except Knives. Knives is the best. And I've had a hard time rooting for Scott. You need an actor who's super charming to make up for Scott being so flawed, and Michael Cera doesn't fill that need. Yet, at the end of the day, I still had a lot of fun. Sorry for the long and colored email, but that you had to read out loud, Mackie. But it's been a while, and Edgar Wright is just plain old rad. I liked Ant-Man, but it's only now I realized how great that movie would be if he got to stay on as director. That's an email for another day. 351 days until his next movie, Baby Driver, comes out. I'm ready. Crash and Burn, Steve Like the Bird, sent via a slice of fried gold. P.S. Ramona's hair colors changed throughout Scott Pilgrim almost perfectly match the 3 flavors of Cornetto. I'm 98% sure this wasn't intentional, and I'm reading way too much into this, but I think it's cool. He sent pictures of how she's got the red, then the blue, and then the green.
I think Scott Pilgrim's supposed to be an asshole.
Oh, yeah, he does say that.
I mean,
but he's supposed to be a likable asshole, and he's kind of, I don't know.
I think he's likable enough. I'm a huge sucker for that movie. But I don't know. I think he's likable enough. I don't know. I need to watch that again for the 100th time.
I feel it.
Need to refresh my memory on
every. Say this, details. I'm not sure it's going to sound right or like I'm not being an asshole myself, but I feel like Scott Pilgrim is one of those movies for people directly in our generation and our upbringing as far as video game knowledge and like things we grew up on. And I feel like there are select few people outside of that will appreciate the movie, but I don't feel like it's for everyone. I mean, I still think it stands alone. I don't think it's like, I'm not trying to say like you have to be our age to enjoy this. I just feel like it's such a hyper specific pace and something about the movie that I feel like it's obviously not for everyone, like right off the bat. And I never take offense when someone says they don't like Scott Pilgrim. I mean, I do question them a little bit, like especially if they're, it seems like a movie they should like, but I just feel like it's a very polarizing movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like we all just kind of like lucked out in we can appreciate Scott Pilgrim thing more. Like, because there's something to be said about the way indie music was treated specifically in like the 90s and this like reverence for indie bands and video games and like all this pervasive stuff that's in Scott Pilgrim. And I feel like that's not like there anymore. I mean, I feel like now it's more like just like it's kind of, it has a little bit like kind of out trying to hipster the names of the bands and not really like the talent of the band or anything like that. It was just like what's hot right now. It feels like more now than, I don't know. Maybe it's all dumb. No, I don't know if I had a point there or not.
Well, the problem with the adaptation also is that the comics weren't done. They hadn't finished them when they had been writing the script. And so it basically is completely different for, basically from Brandon Ruth's X through the end. And then it kind of comes back to it because some of the stuff that they did in the movie, Brian O'Malley ended up using in the final book of Scott Pilgrim, but it goes very different directions. Like I'm going to say the comic is better. I especially like the way it handles a lot of things, like the way he defeats Brandon Ruth's character is they have to have a race through Walmart without going insane. And going through and spending too much time in Walmart drives Brandon Routh's character insane. But Scott can handle it, and he ends up leaving. Like, it's just weird stuff that just does not translate to a movie. But I love that movie. I love the use of the soundtrack in there. Like, it's just one of those, like I've said before about a lot of movies where it's like you go for it and you're like, I don't care if I alienate a bunch of people. The people that like this are going to go fucking nuts and love every frame of this, which is kind of how that movie is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what I was trying to say, is the people aren't willing to take chances on hyper-specific target audience movies anymore. It's like every movie has to like be run through this commercial filter where it's like, yeah, that, but you know, not everyone's going to get that reference. So can you dumb that down? Can you dumb this down? Can you make this more appealing? Can you put a tighter shirt on her? You know, all like these dumb things that you have to do for mass market, you know, kind of things. And it's just like, I appreciate like when a movie I feel like Scott Pilgrim was like one of those hyper specific target audience movies. And for the people that hit, and if it didn't, you didn't, you know, no harm done, kind of thing. Like,
yeah, you know, and it's also one of those things that suffers in the adaptation in that the female characters in the comic are plenty three-dimensional, whereas in the movie they just kind of got chopped down to their archetypes, and that was it. Where, you know, like Envy, his ex-girlfriend, is like a very sympathetic character because it's like, yeah, Scott kind of treated her like shit too. You know, and so she treated him like shit back. You know, there's like that whole thing where it's like, okay, you know, there are two sides to it, and they actually tell her side of the story. So,
yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, I can't single that out. I feel like every character was kind of paper thin, like archetype. I mean, I think that's like part of the charm of it to me. I just feel like everyone is just like boiled down to, I wouldn't say a stereotype, but like specifically like, oh, you do this.
Character trait.
A character trait. Like, you know, oh, you do this. Like, oh, you're the gay roommate. Okay, that's all you have. Like, you know, you're a snarky gay roommate. You're the, you know, the vegan guy who thinks he's better than everyone else. You're the, you know, the quirky Asian exchange, or not exchange student, Asian student, you know, that's, you know, I mean, it's just like, everyone's just like really basic, you know, and I strangely enough, I find that to be one of the more endearing things about the movie is that like nobody's like a character. It's just like, here's all the things you.
Yeah. Did they make Steven Stills the lead singer gay in the movie?
Never mentioned. No.
Okay. Because that's what happens in the comic.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he's just like, they show that Scott had become so detached from everyone because the comic takes place over a very long time. And there's a point where he's just like Steven shows up with a boyfriend and Scott's like, wait, you're gay? What? And he's like, yeah, I've been out for like half a year. Like, you're such a dick. You didn't even know. You know, it's that sort of thing. But I couldn't remember if they did it in the movie or not. But yeah,
I don't know.
The way they treat it in the comic is just like it's so great because he's just like, no, he's like, yeah, like I've been gay for a while. You didn't like, you didn't hear about it or anything, you know?
Yeah,
no. And I wish they had done something with that in the movie, but they didn't. So I guess not.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, and those other movies are classics in their own right. I think World's End is the weakest of the three Cornetto ones.
Yeah, I mean they go down in order for me. I mean, just I love them all, but I mean, that's my favorite order down.
I think Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz are pretty close, and then there's a bit of a drop off at World's End, but still. Really good.
And the thing about World's End too is like the soundtrack hits that very specific Britpop that I think people our age are like the only ones that remember.
Yeah.
From like basically 1990 and 1991, and that's it.
Right.
Like, and that music fucking died right after that. But all of that stuff is the soundtrack of that movie, which is the whole point of him trying to recapture that point in time, and not happening. But anyway, moving on.
All right.
Next one up is from Max, who has a movie recommendation. Says, hello, BMFcast. It's April, which means it's time for your favorite thing in the world, animation recommendations.
No.
The movie... the movie...
No?
Wow.
Well, let's see another email. All right,
I'm going to read it.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. The movie you want to watch is Dirty Pair, Project Eden. It's a silly-ass sci-fi action movie about two female secret agents with a talent for fucking up everyone else's lives spectacularly, investigating a scientist that is making a totally not H.R. Giger alien out of rocks. The movie is never boring, gorgeously animated, only 83 minutes long, saturated with 80s as fuck music and fashion, boobs, and honest to goodness, it feels like a spiritual sequel to Hard Ticket to Hawaii. I hope you guys check it out. Crash and burn. Max like the Jodie Foster.
I'm curious. Like, I think there's like 1,000 Dirty Pair movies. I wonder why that one. I'm pretty sure there's like a bunch. Did
you say Dirty Pair?
I don't
Dirty
think I
Pair,
can watch a movie called Dirty Pair.
Is this like
with you
Apple,
guys.
whatever, Apple Smith?
Appleseed?
Appleseed, yeah.
I don't know.
Is it a parody?
Nope.
Or is it
Dirty Pair?
It's two girls. I don't know. They just call them the Dirty Pair. I don't know why. It's not like...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Oh,
I thought maybe pear like the fruit.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Oh, no. Like pair, like two of them.
P-A-I-R.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a whole thing. There's like...
Yeah.
There's a whole
Dirty
bunch of
Pair,
things.
Project Eden.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
the one to watch.
I'm just saying, there was a point in time where I watched a lot of anime, and I'm pretty sure I've seen some of the Dirty Pair stuff.
Good Lord.
What?
I'm just looking at this box art, just like,
Yeah. Dirty Pair.
no.
Yeah, Chuck says no.
No
Apparently.
animation.
Well,
Well, that's just happening
well,
regardless.
hunker down, fellas.
What?
I got a couple more emails for you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
The
me
next one
guess.
up's from Birdie.
Hi, Birdie.
This is Animation 2.0 and other thoughts.
No, God damn it.
Birdie says, "Hey guys, I've been meaning to write you guys sooner because I've been going through some movies, but I needed a few beers before I decided I could Hemingway myself into a letter about movies and animated movies. So, firstly, I still want to see Animation 2.0 be a thing. I still wholeheartedly recommend Un Gallo con Muchos Huevos. I own the DVD and I've loaned it to numerous people who agree that despite the quality of the movie, it's a lot of fun, especially to people who are fans of movies. Secondly, I'd recommend a movie on Netflix, Hell and Back, which is a weird stop-motion movie that I think is done by either the people who did Moral Oral or Robot Chicken. It's that same kind of style. It's a hard R kind of movie with a voice cast of hilarious comedians. I didn't like the movie myself, especially because it seems like it just tried way too hard to be offensive, and it makes 7 too many rape jokes for any feature.
Well, yeah.
That is too many. I'd let you guys be the judge on whether or not that's something to see. Thirdly, I'd recommend an odd movie I bought and hated, but believe it deserves a viewing. He Never Died is a movie starring Uncle Hank Rollins as an immortal who has to feast on the blood of others to survive. The hero is kind of a curmudgeon who spends his free time playing bingo and dealing with thugs. He discovers he has a daughter and she gets kidnapped, and he kind of John Wicks the fuck out of people to get her back. I'm making this sound like much more fun than it is, but I'd love to know if any of you guys are willing to check it out. By the way, as far as animation obsession is with you guys, there are supposed to be over 40 animated movies to be released this year. I'm hoping to see 20 to 30 of them, but I'm certain there's some future BMFcast-worthy stuff coming out, besides Ice Age 9 and Sausage Party. Crash and burn, fellas. This is a haiku, by the way. Crash and burn, fellas. Enjoy some animation. And Henry Rollins. Birdie. Sent from my 17 bottles of beer who became sentient and want to hang out with Steve like the bird heron for some drunken revelry. Steve's underage. We're not going to allow that.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, Birdie.
I almost watched that Henry Rollins movie just because it was on Netflix. It's not animated. That was confusing.
Oh.
Anyway, that was not an animated movie at all.
Oh, you didn't watch the animated version.
Oh.
There's another one.
Oh, okay.
Should watch that
There is.
All right.
for animation.
Animation.
No, I mean the phrasing. I mean, it sounded like
Yes.
we were getting all animated movie recommendations. I don't know about one of those, but the Henry Rollins one
Okay, so
seemed
it's a real
interesting
movie.
based on the description I saw on Netflix.
He makes it sound very good. All right. Next one up's from Isaac. It's titled Animated Fast and Furious. Salutations, BMFcast. I'm a huge fan of the podcast and listen to it all the time. I love how you never judge a movie purely on just one thing and can still really enjoy a movie even if it's completely incompetently made, or still admit the flaws of really great movies and acknowledge that these flaws don't ruin it. One thing I think you guys don't quite do enough of, though, is animated movies.
God damn it.
And I know at least one of you just cringed at the memory of your last month of animation and the horrors of Food Fight and Rockadoodle. But I'm not talking about legitimately bad animated movies. I'm talking about BMFcast-worthy animated movies. Movies that are poorly written, maybe poorly executed, but still badass or otherwise engaging. The kind of thing that is bad for the opposite reason Appleseed was bad. Instead of spending 1,000 hours explaining every little detail of the intricacies of the world the writers created, these kinds of movies just dive right in and explain maybe 5% of the stuff that's thrown at the screen. One of my favorite good-bad animated movies is called Redline, which is, as the subject line of this email might imply, something like an animated over-the-top racing rebellion hyper-action movie, i.e. Fast and Furious. It's full of so many things that are never explained and never fully fleshed out, but for me at least, it has this amazing ability to suck the viewer in on the final act. Oh, by the way, it also takes place in space in the far-flung future. And if you watched a few animated movies that take place in the future in space, then you might have noticed that they usually have really amazing and creative alien designs. This thankfully stays true in Redline, and any attempt to describe the bizarre, almost grotesque beauty of the animation and character design in this movie could never do it justice. On an unrelated note, I have a weird question for you guys. What is the absolute worst setup for an action movie you've ever seen? In my opinion, it's always that moment in science fiction when the perfect system gets a magical flaw that forces the protagonist to go on an action-packed journey to fix such and such before a thing happens. Like in Minority Report, when the supposedly perfect precog system does something stupid that actually results in what they predicted coming true through some meta self-realization prophecy BS. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good movie, but the setup is kind of flimsy. Anyway, keep up the awesome podcasting. Isaac, sent for my stick-powered gas. Stick-powered gas hyphen. We'll never know what the other end is. Redline.
Yeah.
Listener Scott from Dallas sent us all copies of Redline.
He watched Redline.
I have watched Redline.
You watched Redline.
I have not watched Redline.
I'm waiting for the perfect mix of intoxicants to throw that in the Blu-ray.
Okay, so Harlow's watched Redline. We talked about it.
I literally don't know what to think anymore. I mean, like, I think we could watch it, but then next thing I know, you all hate it. Just based on... I feel like animation is y'all's talking puppy movies. And I feel like I'm like, yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with some animation.
It's
like
hashtag Harlow.
I'm just saying you're as off put by the idea, the notion of animated movies as I am by talking fucking dog movies.
We had a terrible run.
Okay.
Yeah, we did poll it was a bad month.
Sure.
Because we tried to do bad animated movies.
Yeah.
Which are bad.
Yeah. And like even when we did Rock and Rule, which was not part of a theme month or anything, it was just like, hey, you guys have really liked this. We were all bored out of our fucking minds.
Okay. I agree.
So I worry. I mean, I get that people like animated movies of all shapes and sizes, but when I hear someone recommend one, it just takes me back to Rock and Rule and,
I think we've said this before. I think the problem is it's easy for some dipshit to go out there with a camera and point it at some friends driving around in a car having an action movie that's not very actiony. Mm-hmm. A lot of hands have to be involved in making an animated movie, and it's harder for it to be bad in so much that somebody has to go, are you sure you want to do this? Because it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And so there's like a lot more chance of oversight of like, something happening and someone going, yeah, this isn't that good of an idea.
Yeah, someone would be like, whoa, I'm not drawing that.
Yeah, this is dumb, and you need to rethink this or I quit. And, sure, there are some people that persevere and make this happen anyway.
Yeah.
But it feels like a harder thing for it to come together and be the things that we want from the BMFcast and an animated movie. Yeah. It just feels unlikely.
Bad in a good way.
Right.
GoBots was all right. Because it was such a crass commercial tie-in, just so blatantly trying to sell Transformer rocks to kids.
Yeah. Rock Lords.
Voyage of the Rock Lords, yeah.
No.
You gotta put the Rock Lords in the
Challenge
tumbler.
of the Rock Lords.
Challenge?
Voyage
War
of the Rock Aliens is the other
All
thing.
I know is
War of the Rock Lords.
it was put the Rock Lords in the tumblr.tumblr.com.
Yes.
That's the only thing I remember.
Put the Rock Lords in the .tumblr.com.
Like, I would watch every single toy tie-in, any of those things, like the He-Man, She-Ra, all that bullshit. I will watch all those because those are so commercially crass that they come off as entertaining.
Oh, I'll watch Secret of the Sword like tomorrow. If
Okay.
you want to?
Sweet.
Seriously.
All right, I will say there will be something animated for you guys.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Us.
No.
Boing.
We will have some content regarding animation
Okay.
in May.
Interesting.
Not going to be a full month of animation. That's
Anime.
because I don't want Chuck to like literally die.
I don't want to die.
I think he might
Yeah.
if we were to do an entire month.
Sure.
Yeah,
If we have something, we need to put it on the list here.
we'll have some animated content.
Okay.
All right.
Redline's pretty good though.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
and we have one last one from Nils, which is a voicemail that he sent as an MP3.
Oh, that one. Shit. You threw me a curveball there.
Sorry, dude.
Shit.
Gotta edit this out.
Shit.
Greetings, casters. This is Nils from Southern Utah. And the other day I picked up joysticks on DVD. But that's not what I wanted to tell you about. On the disc, there are a bunch of trailers for some interesting looking movies. Among them is a movie I'd never seen before or even heard of, but the trailer was amazing. It's a film called Kill and Kill Again. So after seeing the trailer, I sought the movie out, and I cannot recommend this movie highly enough. I mean, I could try to sell it to you, but I can't really do a better job than the trailer. So take a listen to this.
James Ryan, 4 times world martial arts champion, a living weapon of destruction. In 1980, he accepted the challenge to take on a battalion of karate commandos and kill or be killed. Now, James Ryan is back as Steve Chase in the most explosive action adventure of our time. This time, the assault squad of 5 international superstars must face an enemy that could devastate any army on Earth. The karate clones of the Mad Marduk. And his evil champion of champions, the Optimus. Steve Chase.
Must have been domestic.
The Fly. Gypsy Billy. Gorilla. Hot Dog. And the magnificent Candy Cane.
I had to see for myself how good you really were.
Together, they must battle for a prize more valuable than any trophy. The freedom of the entire world.
It'll be expensive.
Shall we say 2 million?
5 million.
In the air, on the ground, and in the arena of death.
Let the fun begin.
When black belts clash, steel fists collide. In a martial arts free-for-all of global proportions. This is the all-new Kill and Kill Again. The one motion picture that will annihilate every concept you've ever had about the limits of human strength, conditioning, and endurance. Kill and Kill Again. The challenge continues.
Okay, I don't think anything else I could say could sell you better than that. I hope you guys will take a look at this, put it on the list somewhere, because there's just so many amazing jocks-worthy stuff in this film. And the driving plot of it is that some scientists invented a super gasoline from potatoes that can also be used as a mind control serum. I also want to say I'm really looking forward to you covering Death Wish 3. I think it will be a very good episode when you get there. Anyway, Crash and Burn, Nils out.
You had me at Kill and Kill Again.
Yeah, I wrote down the title before you even hit play.
I didn't even need the trailer, but Hot Dog made
Hot
that.
Dog.
Yeah.
It was like, was that the world's longest run-on sentence?
Yeah, it pretty much was.
I have absolutely no idea what the plot or what was going on with that. However, there were a ton of words in there that I really liked, all strung sort of together. Sure. So
and interspersed with some
and
I want every concept of my strength and conditioning challenged
to be obliterated.
Yeah.
God, I love old martial arts trailers.
I put it on the list.
Fucking love them.
I tell you what, I like listening to a martial arts trailer like that because seeing it, you're seeing all the best stuff. But just hearing it, as long as it's got a good narrator, that'll sell me on your movie.
Yeah.
Like, if I'd seen the trailer, I'd be like, well, we just saw all the good stuff, but now I want to see what all the yelling is about.
I miss trailers where they, tell you what's going on.
The hype man and the trailer. Just, hey, you guys are going to be blown out your asses.
Soon, a movie that's going to punch you in the dick.
Yeah. I love the ones that challenge you. They're like, can you handle the thunder kick?
Yes.
Are you ready to get your guts kicked out?
And I especially love the ones where they've just made up backstories for their actors that didn't exist. 4-time world karate man. Just like, okay, buddy. Yeah, it's on the list. Put it on the list.
18th level black belt.
Yes.
4-time Mr. Eastern Southern Ohio's Mr. Karate.
Grandmaster of Karate Universe is this guy in a thing. And it's funny, like all the trailer kept saying like the challenge continues. It's like this is not a sequel to anything. Nothing.
No, it's not a sequel to Kill.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was a double feature of Kill and Kill Again.
It's a sequel to Kill and Kill.
No. Just kill.
Oh, Kill and Kill.
It's like Look Who's Talking 2.
Right. Kill and Kill
Look Who's Talking Now.
again.
Kill and Kill Again.
Kill.
All right.
That's got to be it.
Yeah.
That's on the list.
Okay. Yeah, it's on the list.
Nice job, Nils. Thank you.
Good job. So,
contact info.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, go to BMFcast.com. That's all you need
I
to
wasn't
do.
ready for it.
Oh.
BMFcast.com.
Yes.
Twitter.com/BMFcast.
I didn't understand it when he said it. But
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that to me.
Yes, you're welcome. Now that I've said it, now that people will understand it. Patreon.com/BMFcast. BMF at BMFcast.com. 910-5-JACKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. Those are some contact informations for you. Use those in some way.
All right.
Yeah.
I will. I'll rate you.
I know you will.
I'll rate you.
Thank you.
I'll call you.
You can email me at bmf at bmfcast.com.
Yeah, but only you.
They come straight to my phone.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yes, please.
I am Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out.
And I'm surprised.
Maggie?
What happening now?
We get out of here?
All right.
All right. Time to go.
So wait, what's the animated thing we're watching in May?
But we're still on the air. This is for
Oh, wait.
Patreon content only.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't mention the Patreon. Patreon.com/BMFcast.
I did mention
Oh,
that.
you did? I was
You
listening to you.
Yeah, you should listen.
I don't listen.
All right.
I said patreon.com/BMFcast.
I don't
Are
listen.
we on or off?
What? We're on. We can be off. I can.
Take us
I
off.
don't want to spoil it.
All right.
off.
I'm going to close this down because
night, everyone.
apparently
Bye, Internet.
You can't
Bye.
know these
I love you.
things. You can't.
Thanks for joining us.
You can't see this.